Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Asylum podcast for Star Citizen. Woo!
I think I'm muted,
I'm not muted for once. It's so good. I checked things. We rechecked. I mean, we are 12 minutes late, so I could technically have started on time, talked muted, and then unmuted myself. But it's fine. It's all good.
I mean,
professionals here.
Anybody could have done.
Yeah, but we're professionals here, so we'll do it the professional way.
All professionals.
And like, since this is a Star Citizen stream, it's only fair to start it slightly late, just to fit in with everything.
Slightly unfinished too, because it's Star Citizen.
No, slightly.
We will never finish this podcast.
So good evening, everybody. Welcome. I think this is like episode 27 of the Asylum, but it doesn't really matter. We are whole again. Madness has decided to come back from his holiday. Oh no, sorry, his work thing.
It's not a holiday.
We'll discuss that in a bit. And we're also joined by the wonderful Mr. HCVertigo and the person that kind of knows how to play Star Citizen, but does really well at making it look like he doesn't know how to play Star Citizen. SuperMacBrothersRyan.
Yeah. I thought it was.
So good evening, guys. How are you doing? Mac?
Not everybody at once.
How's your week been?
Someone needs to guide us. Who? Me first?
Guidance. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Excellent.
Okay. Vertigo? How have you been?
I've been doing great. Been doing a lot of streaming. Been enjoying 3.2.1 PTU. I've been enjoying mining. We flipped a reclaimer into orbit with a prospector last night. That was hilarious.
You flipped a reclaimer.
Apparently, a reclaimer gets the same amount of physics pushback as any other ship if it blows up underneath a rock. If a rock blows up underneath of it. So yeah, so if you overcharge a rock when you're mining and you have a reclaimer literally touching the rock, it will put it into orbit. Just
so
it's hilarious.
You could do of like fireworks. You could have several of them all set out on top of rocks and then just
yeah, the safety distance is like 3 kilometers back. Has anyone tried like putting all the ships around one rock and then just having one prospector just explode the rock then and just seeing them all fly off in one go? Yeah.
No, I got an idea for a stream tonight though.
What you need, 64. Is it 64 now the limit on the server?
No.
50.
50.
They set the weird thing is they set the group limit to 64, but only 50 people could be on the server, and I'm just what? I'm sorry, math.
Do you know what?
So you need 50 prospectors all at once, all mining the same rock, right up close, just to see it. It's like
question: how are you going to get 50 prospectors all mining the same rock? Would
stack
be a
them up
in itself.
Just do like a donut and then stack them up.
What if they did it like a snake, where one prospector was mining the one in front of it, and then the one behind that was mining the one in front of it, and it just went all around?
If you line them,
when a snake eats its tail, and then
or if you lined them one after the other like that, how far around the moon would they get?
Fucking, we digress. Like
60.
This is content, okay? It's also okay. In our defense, it's hot today.
Yeah, we're all deluded.
We're hallucinating at the moment. It's fine.
So if I get one prospect,
HC's honor. Is it hot where you are? Because it is damn hot where I am at the moment.
Oh, we got the air conditioning. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit out here, which
it'll be hotter for you because it's afternoon time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Earlier in the day. So
what's that 80? I don't deal with Fahrenheit. What's that?
Those fake numbers.
30 degrees Celsius, I think ish. I have to do it. I have to Google.
80 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's 80 Fahrenheit?
Let's all sit here and chat, and we can look up what 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
26.
26. That's nothing. We're at 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Which
well, you can keep it.
That's a lie.
No. It was seriously no joke. It was 35. I'm lying. I'm just lying.
48 degrees.
It was actually
34 degrees.
It was 42 degrees in my greenhouse. That was not a nice place to sit for 5 minutes.
Oh my god!
You feel like you could just get some, like, in the sauna and you get the coals and pour water over it. I sprayed the bottom of the greenhouse and just steam just goes. It was like.
It's like in the wintertime. It's like in the wintertime. Mad just calls into work, says I can't make it in. I got 15 centimeters of snow on the ground, and everybody looks outside like, no, it's not. No, that's what his wife told him what 15 centimeters looks like.
Oh.
Wow! Boom.
Was that from your joke book?
No, that was actually from my work. Yeah, I used to be a mechanic. That was some guy called in work.
Hang on, wait, just so I'm clear on this one. I told my wife that that's what 15 centimeters is.
No, your wife told you.
Yeah, your wife told you that's what 15.
We're talking metric now.
Yes. I actually does it count for points that I had to look up what 6 inches into centimeters was just before I said that?
Search history.
Search history.
What?
Sadly, I won't be winning any awards in the large or the small size. Unfortunately, to be fair, I'm glad I'm not winning awards in the small size.
What about the girth? Because that's really where it counts.
Oh, he's not going to reach
Is
the
that what
bottom,
they
but
say?
he'll bruise the sides.
You need to get a
As
piece
long
of
as you're
string.
touching sides.
Wow.
I don't know. Actually, I've never done the piece of
Let's
string
not.
thing.
Let's move on.
I'll try that later.
Very
Do you mean
male.
haven't you done it with the ring size guide that you get?
Oh,
Is that what you get?
Is that when you?
how do you get
Is that-
scissors?
They got a shop for that. I've
got a
seen
shop
one
for that?
finger.
You can
It's
download
not-
the ring. You can download the ring size guide, so maybe you can get one of those as well.
Go to the jewelers.
That
They
could
got
go.
the-
That could go really wrong though. Like you might get a little bit like. It could bring back some memories of glory hole days.
Anyway.
Let's digress and moving on.
So what I was going to say was So Madness has been away for a couple of weeks on holiday. He's pretending he's been working. So welcome back.
Yes, I have been working. Yes. No.
I had this question that you haven't answered yet, and I have asked a few times. Like, if you were modelling shoes, and that's what you were trying to sell, why were there naked women in the background of all your pictures?
Okay, so. Okay,
Like,
so
they only have to take the
I
shoes
will-
off. They don't have to strip. Just to put a pair of shoes on.
So the
We
company I
don't
work
get
for, they
distracted by
do.
anything else they're wearing. That's you're just focusing on the shoes.
So that's it. That's fine then.
Okay. All right. So basically, what happens is I didn't know this. This is the first time I've ever had to do this. This is actually quite an old school way of doing things. But the company I work for,
I didn't know there'd be
do-
naked women.
Hang on. They do physical. They do clothes. They do apparel, physical exercise apparel, clothing. And they also do footwear. And so I've never done this before. Normally, when we do footwear, you just present the footwear only, like in a room on like walls. People come in, they look at the shoes. They get a brochure and they just look at what they like and they give us feedback. Whereas this time it's a bit more old school, a bit more theater in this actually. And so what he did was the owner of the company, he does this every time. We do a conference and we do a presentation about the inspiration about beforehand, and then we do a fashion show.
Did Hamlet.
And so-
I did a bit of Macbeth.
And then so also we have like a couple girl models who obviously have been pre-chosen by the owner and a few other people, model girls, and get some males as well. And they dress in the clothes, and then they do a walk around and show off the clothes, but then they come back and then they put on the footwear, and then they go out and then they show the footwear. And so normally behind these stages, I have been to one or two fashion things. Normally you have like a screen so that the female models can get changed in private, but for some reason this time there was no screen. For
You're
the
in
models to be
Vietnam. They probably
changed in.
sold tickets to backstage. That's why.
So I kind of sat there. So I'm kind of sat there, kind of going, and being, to be fair, I'm in a position now where I have to be mature and sensible. So instead of
very British, very
so
British.
I'm kind of wanting, I'm like desperately wanting to do this with my sunglasses, which are mirrored so no one can see my eyes. Kind of like, so I'm like, no, I can't do that because people will know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm strategically taking photos of strategically taking photos of the shoes. Just happens to be the models might be in the background, just to send to my friends to say, hey, guess where I am? I have naked models standing right in front of me. But no, it was. I felt awkward for them. I felt very awkward for them. I did say, do we not have, screen for the models and stuff so they can get changed? But no, it was fine. To be
What do
fair,
they call that?
we had
old
to focus.
accordion thing they have, the boudoir or something.
Focus. Yeah, normally they'd have to change. Like I don't know what it was, but anyway, they didn't have it for whatever reason, and so it was all eyes forward, try and pick up the shoes from here if the girls are changing type of thing. But it was.
That's not my feet.
To be honest, I think you'll find in most fashion things they don't bother. They ain't bothered.
No,
they got to change in and
probably
out of clothes so quickly they don't actually bother.
Yeah, I think they're used. I mean, to be fair, they're all very beautiful. They're incredibly good looking. Good. I don't think they honestly have a problem taking their clothes off. Generally, I mean, I think they're a little bit. You don't get completely, but taking most of your clothes, I don't think they really care that much. And to be fair, my wife should take tips in terms of how to get dressed quickly, because I'm telling you, this is the only time I've ever seen a woman get dressed quickly. put clothes on. I take clothes off, take clothes on, because it was like,
Hey,
like
I made
this.
these shoes. Want to take a selfie?
Like, holy shit! So I did actually
Can you?
get.
I just got to get this right angle on the shoe. Hang on.
Hang
Oh,
on.
never mind.
Hang on, I don't think I posted to see if I got a picture. Hang on.
Oh god, is Twitch allowed
Yes.
us to see this?
No, don't do it on my stream. Do it on someone else's. I'm not come out.
No.
It's
Send it to me in a private message. I'll use. I
not
need something
naughty.
for my spank bank.
It's not naughty. I promise. I promise.
Other than your pillow.
Other
I
than,
don't
my
know, it's
pillow.
not
Other than
Just so that people, none of people can see that. So there you go.
Oh
So
well,
there's some of
banned.
the models.
There we go. It was nice being here.
They're the
I'm not
models.
looking at that print screen.
Those
There
are
you go.
models.
I'm
So that's
not
some of the
looking
models
at that print
who doesn't have photos, Sunshark?
that were wearing some of the shoes.
There you go.
I don't
That
think
was-
I've got any other nice ones.
Clearly, that was
Yeah, I
clearly
can't-
just
I don't
showing
think
off
I've
the
got any more
shoes.
nice ones. It's just the feet. Nobody
can't
really
show
wants
that
to see the shoes.
No one actually
I
wants to
can't
look
show
at the
that
shoes.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't show that one.
No
Can't show that one.
shoes.
Can't show that one. Can't.
I
He's
actually
swiping
have
right
to
the
check.
entire time. Are you on Tinder or something?
No.
So, we'll move on
That
from his
was-
nudity
Yeah.
pictures.
Don't
Just
let
thought
your
I'd
wife
ask.
and your girlfriend
went-
meet.
It went really well. The footwear went down really well. I'm really happy. I still have a job, still get paid, which is really great. And like I said, so this is just for anyone that is interested. So this is like one of the little highlight pieces. So this is still a prototype as such. It's not quite 100% with the logo is bigger.
How
This
much?
is a
can
full
buy this
sock
next
for
week.
jiu-jitsu. And this
For
is
300
another
Alpha UEC.
Chuck,
one. This is another shoe.
Do
Kind
they
of
come
rubber
with
shoe.
LTI?
Or yeah, does it come with LTI?
A few other shoes. Just selling it. Just sell it hardcore.
He's
now.
making it. Of
But,
course
yeah.
it doesn't.
It was good. It was good. But I was watching a little bit of the stuff to do with Star Citizen. I saw Moist's wonderful thing that he started for the charity stream, which was really good. Went really well. They raised $5.5K or something, which was amazing.
But
Yeah.
declared 500.
500 or something. Yeah, 500, which was really good. So really, and I remember that's for people who couldn't. They only wanted two, didn't they? So they
Yeah.
more than doubled.
Well, they
almost
actually started off with
almost tripled
one.
it.
Started off with
We only started with
1,000.
1K goal.
Was it?
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
and he kept
So
up in it
it's
each
Like
time
the
they
Star
reached it.
Citizen story, that isn't it?
Yeah,
That's tremendous.
it was just shy of the
So-
few billion that they made. I mean,
Yeah, on a
million.
smaller scale. Billion.
So, congratulations.
I mean the counter went up, but
no,
you
massive.
know,
I mean,
Moist Noodle's not driving a new
incredible.
Porsche.
no.
Yeah, it
He's
was
selling
good.
them, probably.
It was a good charity and well worth it. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
joke.
No, it's really good. So really pleased about that. And then I just haven't. It got really busy with work, so I started not being able to tune into the Twitch streams and being able to keep up to date with everything. So I just watched today before I came on. So I am kind of up to date. I watched the ATV this week, and the other ATV the previous week was only 5 minutes long, which I thought was quite humorous. I was like,
So we didn't actually have a podcast last week because there was literally no information and no one could be bothered to turn up. So so we thought, I did consider just going live and literally doing an ATV and going, it's 5 minutes and then finishing. But in the end, I was like, I had other things I needed to do. So we thought we'd kind of roll it over to this one. So
I don't know. Watching them put the kids into the end of the ATVs was kind of fun.
you could watch that on loop for about 10 minutes, I would imagine. Dude,
Yes.
dude.
Dude, don't correct.
Stop
Don't correct.
correcting.
Don't correct.
The funny thing is, I can imagine Chris doing that in board meetings when he's saying, right, so we're going to have these flying jetpacks, and everyone's going, no, Chris, we're not. And he goes, look, don't correct. This is what we're having.
Honestly, I honestly think that the reality is the reason why this year is actually got better is because the kids have now become on board and telling the parents what to do.
They have
Madness's
high-ranking jobs now, yeah.
Yeah, Madness's new theory, they are actually in charge, and Chris and
They're in
Sandy have
charge.
just been dropped down a rung, so it's like...
Executive Chris Organizer is one of them.
I'm
It's a
telling
bit
you, honestly,
like-
the kids have got it. They know what's going on. They're just like they're down with the Twitch. They've been watching us. They know what's going on. The
Yeah,
parents
they
don't
did,
have a
yeah.
clue. They know the score, so they're just like, yeah, we need quality drops. We need to make sure, Dad, like this is going down. We need to make sure that who's sorting out the turrets and who's sorting out the combat at the moment needs to be sorted really quickly, Dad. Come on, get on with it.
The Asylum
Because
podcast, as
Dad,
watched
get
by
with
Chris
the-
Roberts.
Get with the new generation. We haven't got patience. We need it now.
Fix it now, Dad. It's all about quality of game experience. It's quality of life. That's what the kids probably sat there going, Dad, the quality of this game is just not good at the moment. This is embarrassing. I'm at school trying to tell people about this game. It is shit. Come
Could you
on.
imagine? You're
Even that, it's like, Dad,
embarrassed,
Dad, we keep getting called it's a scam every time we walk into school. It's not good enough.
Do you know what though? If they did, I hope they don't. And any of the children that did that at school, you should be ashamed of yourselves. It's not a scam.
It's shaming children.
You're shaming children.
The Asylum podcast, they're to shame children.
We're not shaming children.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay,
Wow, we go all
so
over the place on this show.
We
don't we?
really
I'm
do.
gonna get a beer. I'm gonna need it.
You just had a beer.
He needs another one.
It's too hot.
To be honest, anyone that calls it a scam, his dad probably just slips them a ship. I mean, if you go to school with their kids, you're probably all right. You've probably got a couple of Idrises and things like that. It's like...
Keep him sweet. Don't worry, son. We'll keep him sweet. Here you go. Here's an Idris. Here's a javelin. They won't be picking on you anymore. Be fine. Yeah, but they can't do anything with them. They're not really there. They're just looking at desktop screensavers, Dad. It's not good. It doesn't work. I can't use my turrets. My friends were in my turret the other day. They couldn't use it, Dad. Come on. Oh, brilliant. Actually, is turrets improved? I haven't got around to testing them yet. Do they?
No, they're all right. They're still got issues. You can actually kill people with them now. They're functional, but not effective.
I still struggle with turrets. It's like as soon as you turn off center, you lose control of them.
Yeah, you have to pull your vertical movement is 1-to-1 mouse. So as soon as you move your mouse up and down, you're great. As soon as you start moving on the horizontal plane, turning left to right, you have to recenter your mouse every time you want to stop.
So the simple solve there is just 1-for-1 horizontal, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
they essentially did. They essentially
write that down.
Left to right is kind of important, though, right? You need to
it is.
You need to have good control of a left to right. Up and down.
They went with real life turret control essentially. Like you
Yeah.
have a joystick, you push the joystick left, and the turret would start rotating as long as you held the joystick down. Then you let go of the joystick, the turret would stop rotating. So you have kind of like a virtual joystick left and right with your mouse. You have to recenter the mouse on your mouse pad to get the turret to stop rotating. It's obnoxious.
It's weird. It didn't work. It doesn't work, does it?
I think that's the thing. Sometimes I do think they want to try and change, make you have to almost relearn how to play a game in every single aspect of it. Do you know what I mean?
It just
like,
needs
by the way, you want to relearn how to do basic loading into a game. We'll redo that as well, make it completely different. So you have to learn, any game before that's taught you a basic things. Don't worry, we're going to completely change it so you're completely lost. It's like sometimes it's good to have continuity.
Sometimes it needs like the arcadey feel. Like even though they're trying to be more realistic, it's the arcadey feel works sometimes. It's just especially for that sort of situation because
Battlefield was doing the 1-to-1 mouse movement for tank turrets forever. Then GIG is like, oh, we got this Hurricane. It's a dogfighter. It can do all this weird wobbly blah 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 stuff, and we're just going to make it a tank turret, like real life tank turret where it has virtual joystick for your mouse aim, and nobody can hit anything. I wonder why. It's
World of Tanks. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a game that's got it's literally all about the turrets, right?
Turret gameplay.
It's just the whole game.
Ask them for advice.
And what World of Tanks does is when you actually have free look in World of Tanks, you can actually move. You can actually look around as fast as you want, and your turret will try to catch up with where you're looking. But the turret rotational rates are locked. Your turret can only rotate so fast, depending on where you're looking.
What would be nice, which is pretty much what Matt has said, but not in that terms. I do like the idea, like you could maybe having different, like blades or whatever, that computer blades that you put into a turret to make it turn faster, so you can upgrade turrets, not just in terms of weaponry, but tracking ability, turning speed. Mm-hmm. That would be quite interesting.
I would love to see
different
turrets. These are man turrets we're talking about right now.
Yes.
Remote turrets also have kind of the same problem too. I did some 600i gameplay with the remote turrets, and they kind of suck too as well. They have the exact same control scheme.
Looks great. Works crap.
Looks crap. Yeah, it's functional but not effective. You have to fly in a certain way to get your turrets to work.
Okay. I can tell you because I'm like, you guys probably all know this stuff, but because I'm completely fresh to it today for the first time. So overclocking is OP to shit.
It depends on the ship you're in. Depends on the ship you're in.
I was like literally like I've got a saber and I overclocked it and it's just like to spray everything at the ship. It's like
I upgraded weapons on the Avenger. I upgraded to size 4 and size 3 and took the gimbals out and then overclocked. And it's literally you fire off maybe 3 shots and it starts overheating, which is accurate. It's how it should be. Yeah. So then you have to you need to upgrade your cooler, you need to upgrade your power plant, but it's going in the right direction, and I'm really enjoying the fact that we get to fuck about with our components.
And I think it's hard to say that it's necessarily OP at the moment. I think that's a dangerous path to go down when you haven't necessarily got the other components to go with it, because that's part of it. So if it's going too fast and it's overheating, like you just said, that's where you want, well, hang on, let's get a new cooler in there and see how that works. That sort of balancing is probably a way off until we get those components for the rest of it in. Because you want to see that whole gameplay. If you overclock your basic stuff, you expect it to do very fast and probably overheat very quickly and things like that, because that's the rest of your stuff's basic. So
they can only balance it to what we have now. Sorry, go on.
Also, speaking of the Avenger, real quick, like the Avenger is not a fighter craft. It feels like anymore.
Oh, I think it does. I love it. I love it as a fighter craft. It's not like a dog fighter. It's not a superb one, but it holds its own.
It's nippy and quite good at just kind of getting in there, and
it's not.
Like when I was in 2.5, it was
quite slow.
It was an irritating ship to take down. It was just irritating. But I don't know what it's like now. It's obviously bigger, and I'm so out of the dogfighting. I'm only just getting back into it again. So you know more about it than me, HC. That's for sure.
I've been trying the Avenger. In my opinion, the Avenger will probably benefit mostly from gimbals right now. It's very slow to accelerate, very slow to decelerate, very slow on the strafe as well. Rotational is all right. If you try to roll your ship, it's actually very responsive there. I don't know if they're going to tune the Avenger up anymore, like change how it flies.
What's it like on the y-axis? Good or like
pitch, yaw, and roll is fine. Pretty responsive.
Not good on the safe. Not good on the strafe.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be though. It shouldn't really be though. If you think about it's got tiny little penguin wings. You know what I mean? Compared to the Saber, which is all,
They do need to be different compared to other ships. So, I mean, if they're all handled superbly as a fighter would, then it's boring.
And the cheaper ships do need to feel like they are cheaper ships. Like you said, you're getting for a more expensive. It's like that's not.
I do like that it just does make a huge difference between the Avenger and the Gladius now. Gladius now feels very nimble, very quick, very different from the Avenger from previous patches. Sure, the Avenger has a lot of firepower potential. You can put a size 4 on the nose. You can put the combi cam, the C788 on the nose of the thing, and just the thing's out there like hanging 2 meters off the front of the thing. And it's just, it looks stupid.
Well endowed.
But it's like you got this big cannon just right between your legs. It's like, yes.
What's the girth like?
Oh.
So what you're saying is like the donkey. It's like the donkey of the ships.
It's the donkey dog fighter.
I look a little bit silly, but I am hung. Hey, baby.
It just arrives. It's like, hey, guys.
It's just like.
And Vanguards are absolutely devastating this patch, by the way. Like put size 7 guns underneath them. Was it size 6, 7, size 6, the M7A?
Overclock them.
And overclock
size
everything.
7?
Sorry, they have a size 4 by default, size 5. I'm thinking the M7A, which is I think is size 7.
That's like a mega upgrade.
I was like, fucking, if you think that's hung, fucking, you should see the Vanguard.
You can actually, like the size, there's only a size 6 is the biggest gun in the game right now, and the only ship that can equip a size 6, which is the size 6 guns, is the Caterpillar, and that's a bug.
I was going to say, isn't the size 7 like the size of an Aurora or something? Having one of those
pretty much like that.
Yeah, but it is true, the Caterpillar is a bug. That is actually true on 2 levels.
Well done, Mac.
Ooh.
I knew there was a reason we had you on this podcast.
It was Vertigo that got that one,
I got a book here with those jokes in it. Like, would you like to hear one?
Oh, God. Shit, you saying that was bad?
You say that, I can one up you there.
Please
do. Dear.
Please take the attention away.
Anyway, so Vanguards are eating Cutlasses alive in the persistent universe right now. Like, dude, if you were in a Cutlass, you think you got big balls, you try to take a Vanguard on. Ooh, you're in for a bad time.
But you should do. It's a heavy fighter. You should do.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. The Cutlass is a utility ship. It's meant to be able to hold. Yeah, meant to hold its own. And it's going to keep you. It's got your friend in there. Maybe gives you an advantage with the turret. It's meant to. But against a heavy fighter like a Vanguard, you should be running. You should not be going one-on-one, toe-to-toe with a Vanguard.
Military ship, isn't it? It's designed for that very reason.
Very purpose. I'm finding out the hard way. Like Vertigo's learning the hard lessons, trying to like the scrappiest Avenger. Yeah, no, that's not working.
You're slugging away.
Yeah, you're like me. I like to be the underdog, trying to take down, like David taking on Goliath type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's never going to happen. but you suddenly surprise everyone with a slingshot, and it's like, hey, look, it can be done, you know?
Yeah.
It's
the interesting thing is that for so long
hard.
it hasn't made a difference. Like, you know, you've had in these small ships that are kicking ass, and so this is now it's starting to look how it should do. It's taken a little while. It's going to take people a while to adjust to that because they've got all these ships that they're thinking, oh, this is so cool, it's killing everything, and now it's like, I keep dying, my ship's crap, and you're going to get a load of moaning because my ship's not powerful enough, theirs is OP, so you're going to get that. But I like the way it seems to be going with these ships kind of fitting in their role. And the same thing, I know it's not combat, but like with the Prospector, like I've seen Mac mining a few times, and he's not making huge amounts of money, and you sit there thinking, oh, is it worth it? But then when you look at it and it's a starter ship, and like that's it, once you've got that, not a starter ship, career ship. Starter career
huge
ship.
amounts of money. Mac, how much are you making?
He's making about, well, this is Mac, okay, so we're talking about, so he's not exactly...
It varies. I mean,
100,
I tried,
200, I mean, he blows himself up every time.
No, you just came in at a bad time, Mitch.
Of course I did.
That was a real laggy stream today.
That's what I told my mother that one time. She just came in at a bad time, Mom.
No. But no, I tried to aim for getting about 1,000 per...
All right.
Per mining.
I don't start mining until at least I see at least 2,000. 2% Laranite, great find. 10% of Grecium was at least 8,000. That was the best I ever got out of a Grecium on yellow.
Huge amounts of money, is it?
But for
8,000, that is massive for right now. That is a massive.
And don't forget that you can only hold 32 SEU. If you
1,000
times that by 4, that's a lot more.
Question. And then I had a 2,300 find too as well.
Hang on, I haven't saddle bags.
Can you drop the saddle? Can you actually take my question?
Not now.
Not at the moment. You only have 4 saddlebags worth of cargo, which is 32 SCU. You can swap them 4 times to get 128 SCU.
So if you have a partnership,
you need someone to pick them up and take them and sell them, and you're like, what the fuck? Who's this guy? Thank you.
Yeah.
But if you can get 8,000 per 4, I know it's quite rare to find that kind of mineral, but that's a fucking good return for a single.
I thought you said 1,000. 8,000 is good.
8,000.
8,000 for 10% agricium. It's very rare. It's a giant pain in the ass. But if you come across 10% agricium, that is your rock. And oh, by the way, we proved that rocks are persistent. If you break a rock and then you write it down, you write down the location of that rock, the OM points, and triangulate off those OM points, you can find that broken rock again. In fact, I found someone else's broken rock that was like 8% gold, 10% quartz today, and then like had 2% titanium. It was worth 2,300, but still, someone else broke the rock for me, and I was like, I'll just suck this all up. Someone else already did the work for me.
Nice. Yeah. But what I mean is in terms of like not bad. Okay, so that's quite a bit of money, but like you just said, that's extremely rare. So if you calculate how long it takes you to find that rock, and then how long it takes you to mine that, and then if you're saying you're going to do the dropping off the pods and everything else, that's taking more people into account, paying someone to go and drop those off for you. So what I mean is it's not a bad amount of money, but it seems quite a good entrance to that. It's going to need more balancing. You know,
was I actually had a little bit of a foible on that 10% rock. Someone else was helping with that, and they crashed their prospector into the. They checked the integrity of their hull against Yella, and apparently Yella has more hull integrity than their prospector. So we lost half of that rock, but I did come back and pick up some more. So that was 8,000.
Here's the thing for me with the kind of like what makes more money, what doesn't make more money. The truth of the matter is, until we actually have ships in to buy and at the value of whatever the CIG decides the prices of the ships, we have no idea realistically if what is a good amount of money for a career or not a good amount of money for a career.
No, and don't forget everything's going to be balanced anyway. So we have
no real idea.
We're just judging it on what's available.
No, but I suppose that's what I'm saying. Though, but for the time it takes and at the moment, that's not. I feel like it's sitting in. You're not getting like tons of money from doing it, but it's a kind of good cash reward at the moment, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I suppose sometimes some of the missions have been reduced to ridiculously low prices, so you're not getting a lot for those. So that's the thing.
What's the missions now? Because honestly, there was no mission.
A lot of variation to them now.
There was no missions.
What I'm seeing right now, when you initially start out, the missions get gobbled up by everybody on the server. So that really kind of drains out the mission pool.
Yeah.
Most people don't go the criminal missions though. So if you get enough criminal reputation, your mission board will fill up very quickly, and you'll have tons of missions to do. Because most people tend to shy away from the crime stat. Because you get enough crime stat, people start hunting players with crime stat.
Well, what 3.2.1 I think brings in is more regular mission updates. So instead of it just being, because at the moment, like you say, all the main missions are gone, and you can't do anything. So they are bringing more sort of quick turnaround on missions to coming back. So that should be.
I swear the bulletin board has a bugged cooldown on some of those timers.
That explains a lot, because there was just the one where everyone does the voids, which is the private eye one. No one gives a fuck about the private investigation mission because it's always there. Every other mission there was nothing. There was no mission. I was like,
there was a mission at Covalex that I did. It's the one I put up on YouTube.
Pick a box. Yeah.
Well, yeah, where you just go and pick it. And the cool thing about that I liked is instead of getting there and then it's saying on your
pick up this box and it gives you a little waypoint.
You've got to find it, and you've got to zoom around trying to look for this box. And I thought they're not hand holding, and I'm so glad that's not happening, because I was literally I stopped and was like, well, where's the box?
Okay,
tell me where the box.
So they're not hand holding. However, this is the only kind of sucky thing I had today, which was I was playing with Zach. And he said to me, he goes, Madness, stay still. I was like, okay, I'll stay still. So I stayed still. And he flew in front. Yeah, he flew in front of me. And then he said, I'm about to, and then he started to move around, and my pip and my focus point followed him. Because I basically said, target me. So I targeted him, and he was just moving on. And he actually physically made my ship move with him. Because it's got like an automatic gluey on rails.
You can turn target focused on and off, can you?
You can turn ESP off, but flying without ESP is awful.
No, I thought this was there's a target focus button where if you click it, it'll focus. Is it just your view it focus?
No. It honestly
moves your ships.
It physically moves the ship, and it makes it. The idea is this is to help people.
I have
auto aim.
To hit target. Yeah, auto aim. And I have to say, hate it with a passion, because it's just like. And also, it makes the gun, the rounds seem to be hitting the middle of the ships more. It's not really going where your pip is going anymore. I'm like, it's like a quick, you talk about the Band-Aid, HC, before, in previous things, you talked about them slapping a Band-Aid to try and fix it, to try and shut us up. This is what it felt like to me. I was like, oh, right, on this, just to try and shut us up.
I think I have a clip of this.
What are you complaining about? You can hit targets now. I'm like, no, you've made it so that it's for joystick. So look, I can stick this into the computer and I can play and shoot a target with it. That's kind of the way it feels for me.
Have you tried the PTU? Because I know they have done some ESP updates PTU. On there.
Today. Yeah, that's what I tried.
Oh, really?
The brand new, that's what I was doing with the PTU, and that was it. Everything else, like I did some mining, which was really fun, and I enjoyed
it. We can show this off. I got a clip I linked to the group chat there. If you want to show off what we're talking about.
I should have done it and clipped.
This is an excellent demonstration. This is me actually typing to somebody in the game, and I actually ended up flying into the station because ESP autopilot took over and actually curved me into
you can see it turned you into it. Yeah,
I am not touching my joystick as I'm typing.
Sure, he didn't. It flew him into the surface. Yeah, I'm going to use that excuse in future.
Sounds like that is crashing excuse.
Good one, thank you.
Yeah.
How do we know that you're not touching the controls?
You see me typing as it turns. You can see me typing. Typing something in the chat there.
Typing A, was it?
Yeah, left. Oh, no. When he presses enter, you just see this.
Yeah. I love that. See www. Like,
oh no, yeah, I see what you mean. Up the top, you can see you typing. Yeah, you Australian. Boom.
Yeah, that's as soon as you came in range, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a cutoff for it. Once you get under a certain distance, it just pulls you over.
It's quite a big pull as well. Considering the speed you're going, you were going at 903, and that's quite a big. Yeah,
you're approaching that station quite quick. To be fair, it's your own fault.
Well, I was just doing a flyby. I was trying to join the combat on the other side.
There should be a speed limit around that station.
There should be a speed limit. Oh my god. I'm sorry, officer. No, I didn't have anything to drink tonight. Yeah, I know how fast I was going. Is there a fine I could pay? No.
So yeah, but this isn't like the permanent fix for it, is it? Is this just like Mandus is saying? This is just their band-aid to get because people are saying that you can't play at the moment because it was so bad. So is this just their solution for the moment? Why? Because that's the whole reason they've now got people in the house to work on it. because it's going to have a lot more work done. So I wonder if this is just a little, is this now playable for you? Can we kind of draw a line under it so you can actually use this system while we continue to work on it in the background? Because what was happening was people are just saying that it's just not playable. The fly and combat is so bad we can't play it, and that's not what they want. That's what Chris was trying to say. As they're moving forward, compared to say other games, they're actually concentrating a little bit on quality of life rather than just developing the game. So they want you to actually be able to play these builds. So whether this is just like a temporary thing for that.
CIG mostly goes for quality of life. They're not. They've stated before they're not interested in developing band-aid fixes. I mean, they'll do some stuff to make it so we can't, like you said, so we can play. So it's not like they nerfed EMP so that wasn't so overbearing. It was EMP was getting to the point back in 3.0 and 3.1 where it was just so overbearing. Like you would just turn it, people just fly around, turn off ships, and it was just there's nothing you can do against it. Constantly. Yeah. So they walk back on this, and the ESP is just there to really just kind of like to throw a bone to the combat, to the dog, because there's a lot of ships they've had pledged for that were combat oriented. You know, Saber, the Super Hornet, the Hornet, 325A. Every ship has a gun on it essentially.
Yeah, no, it is. They'll do certain things to make the patch currently run as easy as possible for people, but they'll also be working on a more long end thing. And at the moment with ESP, the flight model, IFCS, all that sort of stuff, with John leaving and handing it over to, what is it, Dave or someone, Dave something. There's going to be a little
generic
period.
English names.
Yeah,
John goes to Dave, goes to Ben.
Even though John's Dave. Dave. So yeah, we'll see this little patch where it'll be shit, and hopefully, since there's a bit of change up, it'll start getting better. But I'm not someone who really knows much about it anyway, because I'm shit at dogfighting.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that this year, if you're not into dogfighting this year, if you're not into combat, unfortunately for some people, I think this is going to be the year of non-combat content. We got mining right now. We had 3.0 drop the cargo. We have other gameplay loops coming on, refueling potentially, salvage potentially, repair potentially coming up in the next patch.
I don't want to hear a single Care Bear complain that the poor dogfighters, because before I've had nothing but, since I've been playing for 2 years beforehand, of Care Bearers complaining, it's all about combat, it's all about dogfighting, and they don't care. I don't want to hear shit, because it's been shit for ages. So if it's going to be a whole year, come on, we're all level now, we're all on the same playing field. We've all had to wait and have the thing that we love the most.
I mean, I agree. I think they should make sure that combat is to the standard that it should be at.
Yeah.
Yes, they should bring in more non-combat stuff, because, to be honest, the game is probably only 10% combat, but they need to make sure combat works, especially as it's been in the game. And they need it ready for Squadron 42 anyway, which we know is coming this year. Hopefully next year, if not the next year out. But it has to be right for Squadron 42. Otherwise, it's a finished game. So it needs to be working for that. But yeah, they need to get it right. Sorry, Matt.
If anybody's got any questions, by the way, folks, !question in chat. We'll give you the form to ask them. You can ask us them in chat as well if you put them in brackets or capital letters or shout at Mac. We'll try our best to see them, but we're more likely to miss them in chat than we will on the question form. But you're more than welcome to ask them there.
I got that clip. I clipped it for you. There you go. That's the clip.
Got it.
There's the new SP, not great. So this just shows you with the Saber. This is a very quick clip with me and Zach today, and he just showed me. I took my hands off the screen. You can kind of see, and it just shows him moving, and then the ship moving with him. So you'll see if you look, you'll see how he kind of moves with this.
Yeah, I tend to have this compulsion where I go to, if I'm at Port All-Star, any populated place, I've just flicked my targets all over the place. I've been at Port All-Star, and I've had people leaving Port All-Star. I target them to see who it is, and then they just drag me. They drag my view with them as they leave.
Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck?
So does that mean we don't actually have to... So the best thing to do is if I come up against you now, I just let go of the controls and just press fire. Just hold my finger on the trigger button.
Just target me, and then, obviously if I'm moving around, it makes it harder either. I don't know if it works as well if the other person's both moving, or if it's just a show. I think that's just to reinforce how much it's sticky. It's like it's glue. You're kind of suddenly glued, kind of tethered together when you're...
It's a huge difference, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, like you say, that should be an option if people want it, because not everyone can do that. But obviously, it's a bit like having when you play a driving game, And
Can I get glue for mining, please? Then, because that's my argument. My argument is, can I get the glue where it just glues it in the green bit for me, so it never.
Actually, you make a good point there. Yeah.
Can I just have a? How about if I'm a cargo pilot, can I just have a pension? Just mail me my dividends every month.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm wrong with that. They shouldn't allow that, because then it is hand-holding, and it's no longer skill-based mechanics.
No. It's not fair on the people.
Yeah, it's a handicap basically.
Sorry, that's
my
view.
And there's also another bug with it too, where against NPCs, if you're not into PvP too much, but you want to do combat against NPCs will actually glitch out to the point where ESP actually pulls you towards them and then repels you from the pip. Madness probably knows what I'm talking about. Kind of like it pulls you just close enough, and then you try to get on target, and it pushes you away.
I haven't done the NPC. I couldn't find any NPCs to fight yet, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But I will do once. Now you told me, I'll see it.
I like how they say the NPC accuracy is at like 95%.
Yeah, they did. They said that
today. All over again, headshotting you every. It's like, right, I'm gonna do it this time.
I had in the live version in 3.2, Gladius is now back to the 2.6 version, where it can literally it's doing the NPC Gladius is doing dogfighting maneuvers. It's firing its nose gun 90 degrees and it's hitting every bullet.
Somehow it knows where you are.
Yeah, it's a nightmare to fight against those.
That's the NPC crew we need to fucking hire in the verse. Sorry, Miz, you're being replaced.
But the funny thing is, though, I know it'll get tweaked and stuff, but this is exactly what I said right from the start, that I would probably take an NPC turret gunner than I would a player. Because
oh my God,
overall, they're going to be, even with bad stats, they're probably going to end up being more accurate than most people in a turret. You know what I mean?
There is assassination missions for NPC Starfarers, and the rear turret gunners on those Starfarers, which have the two Badgers on each of those two pylons, those things are the deadliest motherfuckers you'll ever come across. They will hit every shot within 1,000 meters. Oh my God, I almost died in a cutlass to those sons of bitches.
Should have taken a Vanguard out instead then. Yeah,
I should have.
I've always kind of thought that it would probably be smarter to have NPCs, if I'm honest. Like, if I had a hammerhead, I would be like, I want to have NPCs in this more than I probably want to have humans.
It would seriously depend, wouldn't it, on your friends?
Unless you've got really shit NPCs, but the thing is, how good are you going to have to be at turret guns to be better than the AI? And I know it sounds stupid, but if you're really good at gunning like that and you're in a turret, you're probably likely to be in a fighter, aren't you? You're probably less likely to be a turret on a gun on a ship.
I mean, it would vary, wouldn't it? It's obviously the NPCs themselves. The average NPC will probably not be as good as your average player. They'll probably reduce it to a point, and then the costs will start coming in where
costs definitely would be a thing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be something they'll factor in. But do they go to the average player and see what their metadata sort of stats are?
I'll tell you now, I'd never put Mac in the turret. Even the worst fucking gunner. In fact, I'd have the engineer go and sit in the turret to shoot. And say, look, Mac, you just sit in the corner, keep the beers cold. This guy's going to go in the turret. He's never been on a ship before. In fact, he's a cleaner, but he's going to go in the turret for you.
Janitor.
Don't worry.
I need you to clear up the shell casings.
You'll tell me. Miz will tell me that he's busy. He can't play today. And then I'll find him and I'll think, oh, you're playing with someone else, are you? And then I'll realise it's an NPC. And I'll be like, I'll delete from contact.
But would you be more hurt if I was playing with an NPC or have I got another player to replace you?
That would be hilarious.
I would feel a little better if it was a real player.
It's like your wife walking in on you cheating with a watermelon or something.
Talking of watermelons.
Yeah, but that's not cheating then, is it? It's like, it's just...
Did you see any of the patch notes for 2.1e?
Yeah, they took the watermelons out because they crashed the crashed Starmarine.
Anytime a Starmarine blew up because it got shot, it would crash the server. So they removed all the watermelons from Starmarine.
Wow.
It was in the patch. I was like, what the fuck? Is that the watermelon? Oh, it was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It was that funny to me. I even tweeted that fucker out because I thought people need to see this.
Oh, if
the watermelons are doing that, what else is breaking the server?
Yes. What else is breaking the server? The windows, the bottles.
What you ought to do
on Necro 11.
get a
I think
load
it
of
just shows you how
watermelons
complex-
and just put them in your ships for when ship boarding comes in, because then hopefully it'll reset and the borders won't be on your ship anymore. So they board, shoot a watermelon, everything crashes. When you come back in
No,
again,
you have to go to the bed first. You have to get into your bed first, and then
Yeah,
shoot the
just
watermelon
wait for
as you
them.
click log out, and then it
Actually,
crashes, and you respawn in
you
your
make-
bed.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
make an interesting point though. Like, what? Okay, what if you deliberately crash your character so that you can then respawn back onto the ship again?
By
eh?
headbutting a
Combat
watermelon.
lunging.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have spoke about it, but I don't
And
think
then
they
you come back later.
have got
Well,
much
then-
of
If
a...
you
5 minutes
intentionally,
there, they're not
well, they
paying
have talked
attention.
about it. They have talked about it, believe it or not.
Yeah, timing,
if you-
isn't it?
If you disconnect and there's no players in the vicinity, it'll just send your ship back to port. If you disconnect, if you hard crash or you pull your Ethernet cable out, it'll just if there's no one around, it'll just send it back to port.
Yeah, but it'll
If there's
persist
players
if there's
around,
people there.
You can't
If there's other
persist.
people within a certain distance, your ship will persist, and people can now fuck with your ship.
That
What about
has actually fucked me. Sorry, man. That's
No, no,
fucked me over recently. When I respawned in Port Olisar in one of the hubs, and there was 2 other people in there, which obviously shouldn't be in there. I came out of bed. One of them had obviously disconnected for no fault of his own in the doorway, and this other guy was stood behind, and he couldn't get out. So there was 2 of us stood behind this disconnected guy, and we couldn't get out. Can you imagine when there's like 12 people stuck in this one tiny Port Olisar hub because one guy is disconnected and he's in the doorway?
All the more reason why CIG needs to get rid of all of this Care Bear nonsense that people can't kill anybody in stations and stuff as quickly as possible.
Did you were you there? Were you there for the
Mow them all down.
3.1K P2 patch?
I heard about this. This is the Grim Hex patch. The Hex patch. where it was free. Did you know the free kill everyone?
No, there is a worse one. I managed to smuggle live weapons into Olisar and kill people. Actual
Oh, did
players.
you?
Yes, I actually have clips of it. I'll probably, if you want them, I'll link them. But
Yeah,
Me-
link them onto me. I'll check them out.
all right, I'll send it to you. I'm gonna go look them. It's gonna be. There was this bug with the armistice zones. If you manage to swap weapons just as you cross the armistice zone,
You can
whatever
say-
came up, you get to keep.
Because the last time I was able to do that was obviously a Hex. You could stand by the door, and obviously you could actually physically stand by the door. And when people would come in, you'd be with a sniper rifle or a shotgun. You just start throwing. I always tried to throw a grenade over the top to try and see if I could kill people on the top at Hex and stuff. That was it. But you couldn't actually go. And when she went past a certain point, the gun would disappear and it was taken away. But you could stand on the inside and shoot people with it, which is quite fun. But
I love the current grenade. I think they've addressed it in 3.2.1, but the grenade bugs in Star Marine, where you got that and it fucking goes whoof. It's like, fuck.
that's so fun. I know, right?
The location it goes is just random.
It's just so
brilliant.
mad. It's just like, let's just guess. It's like, it's just like, which way's the wind blowing?
Where's the wind blowing? We're in trouble. But it's I think
brilliant.
3.2.1 is just dropped patch E now on the PTU. There's still no live branch, but it's obviously they're still working on it. So I don't even know what the fucking patch notes are on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully that'll come to live branch soon. Oh, hang on, where's Miz gone?
Oh, we lost him. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll carry
It's
on.
just miss.
Let's just sit
He'll-
silent
he'll-
until he comes back.
He'll be back in a minute. But like I said though, today, like I tried the mining for the first time. I tried it once before, but this was to see if anything had improved, and I really didn't. I only played it briefly. This time I actually properly tried it, and I had some people come in and help me show me what the buttons were. It's actually quite complicated, and there's really a skill base, and there's no way you can bot this shit. Well, I say there's no way. There's always some clever person that write a program, but in terms of a normal person, there's no way you can easily do this. It's like that having to hit the green bit and then waiting for that pop is very satisfying. I was like, that's a really, really good hit of dopamine to get people continuing to do that. I was like, that's very clever, CIG.
It's
really
kind of
good.
one of those mechanics that if you do it for about an hour or 2 hours, you think, oh my God, I'm so bored of mining. And then you go away and you sort of watch TV and then you think, oh, I really want to do some more mining.
Yeah.
It's like it just draws you back in. I've been like today. I was having difficulty with the lag spikes because when you're trying to get like the threshold so small and it just goes whoop.
Do you know what that's about? Sorry, just to interrupt you briefly about the lag
I
spikes.
don't know.
It was
Is
really
it
bad at
memory
the moment.
leaks? I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Okay, because it was very 2.6.3 had similar things with the lagging now and again, but it seemed to disappear for a while, but now it's come back with a
Do you know?
vengeance.
Yeah, funny enough, 3.2. It's when it first dropped, it was the most playable game patch. That I've ever experienced with starters, and I've been playing it a lot and really enjoying it. Of late, it started depreciating in certain areas like frames, lag spikes, bugs arising. It's very strange how it just suddenly starts. Or not suddenly, it sort of progressively starts getting worse. So I'm not sure if it's something that is on my side. I'm just like a stroke of bad luck of having bad patches, so on and so forth. But for some reason today, it was just difficult playing it today. Whereas usually when I'm streaming or making videos or just playing it myself, it's been smooth. But it started to get a bit deteriorative. Is that a word? Deteriorative?
Deteriorative.
It must be an English word because it's not an American word.
It's definitely deteriorated, is what you mean. I think to say it's the deterioration.
Yeah, it's definitely deteriorating.
Deteriorated.
It's definitely getting shitter.
Yes,
it's getting fucked.
It's shitter.
Do you know what? I think it could be the fact that I've noticed this before with PTU as well versus live. Sometimes in the PTU, I don't know if it's because the servers are different or whatever, but I've noticed there tends to be sometimes a bit more lag and doesn't tend to always run as smoothly. And then I think this is nowhere near good enough to go live. And then they go, oh, we're going live. And then it's like, oh, it's like butter. What the hell?
Yeah,
How's that happen?
Well, that used to happen a lot in the early days before we had the launcher. The Delta patcher, sorry. Like we would do Evo Cardi test. I think this is such a mess. There's no way this is going live. And then the next thing you know, the next step be like, oh yeah, we're pushing it to live tomorrow or later today.
Oh god, yes.
What? Really? It's like, yeah, well, we need to. So it's like, okay.
But I actually left the live build to play the PTU because it was more stable.
Yeah, but was it though? I didn't watch the answer that bit. No,
I didn't want really.
I know you literally goes, right, I'm going to the PTU. It's more stable.
Yeah.
Big news, Miz should be proud of me. I was away for 2 weeks in land of where booze costs less than 50p. Didn't drink still. Not a drop.
Nice one.
I'm very proud of myself. Although some people would think foolish idiot opportunity.
There we go. There's the link in chat. I finally found it. I'd be so proud of me.
Griefing.
Non-consensual.
Non-consensual slaughter. So we've got a couple of questions, so we might as well dig into those. One is from Major Surge, and he asks, since they confirmed the rework of the med pens work, I presume means how the med pens work, and they want things to degrade, how about armor? Shouldn't armor degrade and have durability, and once you destroy a heavy armor plate, it has to be replaced?
100% agree.
But isn't that the plan anyway? I mean, your weapons are supposed to look like they get older the more you use them and stuff. So
I think it's all about the tech, right? They need to get once they build the technology for things, they make it so that it goes across different platforms and can do different things. I think that's with item 2.0 and things like that. They did that for flights, and then they've gone, well, we could do item 2.0 for guns, and we could do item 2.0 for other things, and we can do. Once they have the technology there, they try to make it go across many different things, it seems to be. Yeah. Whereas before they used to be very specific. Whereas now they try to make things more flexible to be used for different things. So I would say 100% agree. I just think that the technology's got to be there. They do wear and tear.
I do think it's something that will happen. I don't think your armor's going to be forever. Or you might be able to go and get it repaired rather than necessarily wait till it destroys and replace it. So you might be able to get stuff repaired.
I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I think I've saw Christian mention in my stream chat once that they have bigger plans for armor. Maybe armor does get damaged and it starts losing its resistance, and then you have to get it patched up or just buy a new one.
Could you imagine the animation would be so cool if you had like heavy armor and it starts to all kind of come apart eventually, and then you just like rip it
get shot in the face, and then you have to put a piece of duct tape over the hole to keep teeth from, like Metro Exodus. Remember that Metro Exodus from E3 where he had to put a little bit of duct tape on his face?
Well, they did show us that. They did talk about originally like you were going to put like if you had holes, they're going to have holes in your spacesuits, and you have to do.
Yeah, what happened to suit punctures, Christian?
Seamstress. To be honest,
the reality of it.
Yeah, when we first saw that, we was like, "What the fuck have they done?" Like really, we saw it as like, why have they just put that in? It was really random and at a random time. Whether they're going to continue trying to use it, because I mean that's it adds a hell of a lot more stuff that you have to mess around with and creates a lot of changes, like having to like seal your suits up and things like that.
But this whole the metro thing of just if you're wearing a helmet or a gas mask or whatever, we all know that tearing duct tape is not as easy as going. You have to sort of get in there.
You can't bite.
So you take your helmet off.
You need scissors because it just doesn't work.
Yeah, having like a pair of space scissors.
Yeah, so you patch it up with the thing, and then you put your space scissors in your pocket, and you pierce your fucking thing. Oh shit!
Or no. Those seamstress scissors that your mom uses to cut fabric. What are those things? The
really sharp, long ones.
Really funny looking. You're there trying to use it to wrap presents with, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with these scissors?
All right.
Well,
anyways,
that killed that
self-sealing
one,
suits.
Self-sealing
That could be a
suits,
thing.
yeah.
Or maybe we'll have instead of an oxy pen and a medi pen, you'll have like a goop pen that injects like sealant into your suit.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Don't you get like some of those package things that kind of like and fill themselves with like foam? Imagine
like
your suit as a whole, and all of a sudden you just get like instant insulation foam just fill your suit up. You just can't.
I'm sorry. How does that go again?
Just see your friend in the distance just becoming this sludge.
Like, I mean, there's no air getting in and out again, but you can't do anything because you're just like
you're gonna have to get chiseled out of that. He's gonna have to get chiseled out of that suit.
I did see a really stupid YouTube video where someone cemented their head in a microwave.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, I remember that one.
And he actually needed to get
ever.
chiseled out. It was like, wow.
Is that one of those videos that are like 3 in the morning after you've just clicked, yep, I'll watch that one?
I think so. Mine sort of auto plays, and you just think, what the fuck is going on?
You just like that.
Yeah, YouTube just goes for the more weird videos after a while.
Did he have must have had tubes then, right, to breathe? And
like
shit.
A straw.
Yeah. Eventually, when it set, they had to like put a tube in, and they had the fire brigade like literally like hacking it out. He was lucky to live from it, to be honest.
I would love to have
it
been in the
expands
board
as well,
meeting
so it was crushing his head.
When he thought this would be a good idea.
I know, it's just really stupid.
Like, how about we just Anyway,
it's just, that's when you know you got the wrong mates. That's when you know you got the wrong mates.
Yeah, I say he does it. What?
Okay then.
Why?
And we'll put it up on YouTube and we'll monetize it. That way I can make all the money.
Everybody needs to see though.
And inspire a generation of kids for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, kids will be going.
That's the thing.
Well, he chose the wrong material. That's what they'll be thinking. We need to choose something more dense.
Can't we use funny putty? Do we have to use concrete?
That was probably what they originally were going to do. That's what they originally do. They were going to go, but we haven't got any. But we've got this concrete.
Well, mate's got a cement mixer in the back. I think we should put that
Great
to use.
idea. That's a great idea. That's a great substitute. It'll be fine. What's the worst
Foot
thing
in it maybe, but your head, like.
Yeah, you've got to be
foot or something. Yeah,
you've got to be
nuts. I bet his skin was really smooth though.
Start off small, just a little pinky. You just stick that in it.
He had a really big head when he went in, and then when he came out, it was a really small pinhead afterwards.
Well, that's how Mizbot was made. It's actually a bloke that's got his. I can't even point to the right place. It's a bloke that's got his head stuck in a concrete box. He's just at it now. Okay, so the next question is, what are you looking forward to most in patch 3.3 and 3.4? And that was by Mr. Low Polybot.
Oh, okay.
Hurston
and ship.
Or I want tech. I want the fucking tech, because if we're not getting Hurston, if we're not getting OCS.
True, yeah. But if we say I want Hurston, then
I've just been fucking told. You're right. Your logic is impeccable, good sir.
Thank you.
I yield the field to you.
Who's logic?
So in that case, Squadron 42, because by that time,
everything's done.
Whoa.
If he says Hurston, we have to have. Roberts has said OCS. Hurston cannot come without OCS. So if you want Hurston, you're going to get OCS.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with Hurston.
I'm looking to full release.
Hurston brings ships. I'm like, ships gives me ships. So I'm like, we can buy ships. Full game loops, please.
Yes.
Reasons
ship
playing.
Actually, I'm gonna say in-game ship purchasing. I don't fucking care about Hurston. I want for 3.3. For 3-3, I want in-game ship purchasing.
But if you say Hurston, it
Again,
brings
Hurston
the
brings
ship
the
purchasing.
ships.
No, they
That's
could
all part of the loop.
they could tape up an ugly fucking terminal like they did for mining to a wall in OSR. Or Korea would be great. Yes,
But,
the ship
yeah.
dealership. You have to fight through
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the griefers to buy another ship.
And while you're deciding on the ship to buy, you could be getting shot at, and you've got to stop.
mean
That would be a
guys-
vicious fucking queue. I tell you what.
You guys haven't found the floating terminal in space. There's certain coordinates where you can actually order. They make it a bit. It's like Big Benny's, but there's this particular place where there's a floating terminal. Where you
There's
can
like a
get shit.
used Starship dealer somewhere in Yellow Asteroid Belt.
It's out there somewhere. They've done it. That would be fantastic. Just do that for fun. Just literally make that happen.
Like the
and
like
so you
jump
can buy
down.
ships. Yeah, say in the
Make it
verse
no
right now,
Armistice
there's a
Zone
place
2.
where you can buy ships for the game. You have to go find it.
Hilarious, wouldn't it?
Good luck, guys.
Good luck,
Be
everybody.
like, "Shit."
I found
Don't even put it in. Just tell people. Put that in the
Yeah.
patch notes. We
Yeah.
put a terminal somewhere in Yellow Asteroid Field. There you can purchase in ships for UEC.
Good luck, motherfuckers.
Good luck, motherfuckers.
That would be brilliant. Oh,
Oh, that'd be
God, I'd love
fucking
to do
brutal.
And
That
it
would be
randomly
just
moves
watch
every
them.
10 minutes.
it. Nobody found it yet. Exactly, Christian's like,
Exactly, Christian. Nobody's found it yet.
It's been in since 2.0.
That would be hilarious. Could you imagine if they said, "Well, actually"?
I mean, at least they could say, "Look, we put fucking ship purchasing in for you. You can't
Yeah.
find it. That is your problem. That's emergent
That is your
gameplay."
problem. Just get good. It's skill based. It's skill based ship purchasing.
It's
Yeah.
and
You
it's
have
not
to
on
be able to
yellow.
find the dealership.
It's not on yellow. It's
suppose-
on one of the asteroids that circles yellow. Yes.
Yeah. Have you tried stopping and asking for directions?
It is a game loop, Asnog. It is. Sorry to interrupt because I don't want to type it. It is kind of, but it's not the one we care about. It is a game loop, I suppose.
It's not what I care about, so.
It's not a game loop, in my
I
opinion.
fucking care about.
It's like, meh, you know what I mean? It's kind of, it's like bronze at the Olympics. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like-
The person who got bronze.
yeah, they probably do.
Even he's like,
They
fucking
probably
hell.
care.
What is the
Bronze
point of
and
this
silver.
medal?
It's like, who
I
cares?
bet they
It's
all
like
melted
gold.
and just.
I might as well. I fucking madness. Jesus Christ! When somebody gets bronze at the Olympics, you might as well just hand them a razor blade. Just tell them to slit their wrist.
Who care about it?
Fucking brutal.
Sellotape to the back of the medal. This for?
Oh wow!
You can tell I had a competitive father, can't you?
We do not condone.
Mate.
We do not condone the use of razor blades in this.
Honestly, my old man.
podcast.
my old man
We're
was saying to me,
totally on about having a shave
I
here. That's
just-
what they're saying.
I'm also shilling for Shave of the Month Club. By the way, I just got a sponsorship.
Honestly, I
All
swear,
the razors you could want.
All
You
the
really need
razors.
one.
I
Oh
had
god, this is bad.
My father was a 90. If I would turn up with a 90% exam, he would ask me what happened to the other 10%. That's kind of the way that it was like. It was like win or nothing, right? It's like what's that, Ricky Bobby?
But the next, that's going to backfire, right? 'Cause if it's win or nothing, and you don't think you're going to win, you might as well not bother at all. Oh, I've got 10% dad. What happened to having 90%? Well, don't really matter.
I mean,
does it?
it's bullshit when they say it's just taking part. It's like, no. The whole
No,
point
it's
of the
bullshit.
part is to win.
It belittles the like if you like they give these awards to kids like for turning up and you look at the little fat little kid and he's like he's run down the thing and you're just kind of looking at him and you're going, no, he doesn't deserve a medal. He deserves a fat camp coach, whatever, to go off and get himself sorted.
Yeah, it's like an attendance award.
doesn't-
Well done. You've
Yeah,
done
it's
what was
like-
expected of
and-
you.
It embarrasses.
So you're
the
saying
kid.
I don't get a
gotta
gold
clock- you
star
gotta-
at the end of this?
Yeah, you get a check box next to your little name that said
Yeah.
you showed up. Check.
It's not.
I never got
it's
that
not-
checkbook because I never
but
fucking
it's not
showed.
good.
There you go.
It's not good for the
Couldn't
kid, though,
even
right?
achieve that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if the kid gets this award, and then there's the other kid who's like won, and he's the fat, he's worked hard his ass off. He's won, and he's like, I've got my certificate. Yeah, I've done the best. And he looks at the fat kid. He's like, oh, the little kid, he's not even slow as shit, and he's like, what the fuck's he getting anything for?
I could just see it cue to 10 years later when Madison's child is streaming and he's like, it's not good enough. You need
It's
to be
not-
getting at least 50 viewers by now.
Oh god.
It's shit. I'm like, what's going on? It's not good enough. But then equally, I go, but that kid is good at that. But then like that kid who was last could be fantastic at chess or ballet, or he could be like, in 20 years' time, he's like Wall Street business manager of the year or whatever. And it's like, but that's
You see, you didn't need to run at the
Reward.
end.
reward for what they're good at. Don't bullshit people because it's just embarrassing. Anyway, I get really that annoys me.
Oh, we can tell. Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell.
That kid is your
You can have
boss.
your whole podcast.
Tell us how you
based on
really
that.
feel, Madness.
That kid is your boss. You know, what can I say? That bugs me.
So another question is from the prisoner, and he asks, hurdy-gurdy, I heard of a new medical ship. To fast-track a med ship, maybe the Cutlass Red by Drake, or maybe another manufacturer. What do you think?
Now, was Todd and Jared on the latest Calling All Devs being a little sketchy, or was Todd being serious? There is no other medical ships planned other than what's coming when they come, which is not going to be anytime soon. Did that make sense?
I know some ships will have medical facilities. Some ships have med packs in them.
Well,
Like,
the
they'll have little
Cutlass,
storage areas.
Cutlass Red and the Endeavour are the two medical profession ships. But on the latest Calling All Devs, right at the end, they were saying they're not scheduled for a little while yet.
Something's
But they
coming
will
out.
be the only ones that are coming. But he was being really sketchy about it.
Friday the 20th, supposedly. New medical
Well,
ship.
someone's already
concept
said
on
that there's a
Friday
new medical
20th.
ship. So.
Where's this coming
Sounds. I got the clip 9 minutes in.
Toby,
Here we
so he's a
go.
dodgy source anyway.
Copy
Yeah.
link. Here we go. Paste.
But
Here's
for
a link.
anyways, if you have more questions, exclamation question mark. If you have complaints, you want to Twitch
Phone-
at CS,
phone a number that-
From today. Today's Calling All Devs. From today, Calling All Devs at 9 minutes.
But if you look at Todd, he's very serious.
hmm
Gerard, I
Yeah.
can't recognize him. I don't know who he is. I'm just like, who is this Gerard? He doesn't. Who is? He's changed
Shaved
so
his
much.
butt, shaved his
Yeah.
beard, lost some weight. Something's going on.
I don't know. I don't think it's a medical ship.
Because
There may be
he
some
says no.
announcement.
He says no, none that I'm aware of. And then Disco Lando says tune in to Friday then. And Friday they've got ship shape.
hmm
Look at the way they're looking at each other. Look at the way they're looking at this.
That's
Like,
just
you know when
because
people
of
are hiding a
Todd's eyes,
secret.
though, let's be fair.
He's like,
No, he's not. He's half
"Are
laughing
you
when he
gonna
said
do
it.
that?"
Jared
Yeah.
just stares at Todd's eyes, and then you can't look away. So I think it's more of a bromance than a.
Yes.
That's kind of looks like people are holding something that they kind of like. Yeah, you tell them. No, you tell now.
They're just constipated, but that's not the point.
Yeah, maybe he's got to take a dump, and it's just like Jared's
Can
taking
we
a little
hurry
too
up,
long.
please? Yeah, I need to finish quick.
It'd be the distress eyes.
I mean, unless
Question,
he's
why
just
is
trying to say
Jared-
on Friday they're going to just be an update on those ships, medical ships, because if there's
Well,
been no
the
update,
Cutlass variants aren't on the production schedule. Like the MISC ships are.
Nor is the Endeavour.
Freelancer. Nor is the Endeavour.
The two medical ships that we know of are not on the schedule for this year. And potentially we could see an update to the roadmap 3.6, which would be next year. This time next year, it could be Cutlass Red.
Yeah.
I just don't feel there's another.
It would be the Cutlass variants, the
Yes.
blue and the red.
Yeah, true.
I hope so because I've had the blue for ages and I'd really like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Cutlass variants as well. I would like any more variants. I'm looking forward to the 300i rework. I'm looking
saw a
forward
picture.
to the freelancer stuff. I'm looking forward to the Taurus. Any of the old ships, any of the ships that were pledged, that were offered up for pledge back in 2012, 13, 14. I want to see those ships start getting pushed out.
Yeah.
don't you think it's difficult to, like, if they said there was a new concept medical ship on Friday, like, don't you find that a bit difficult to get excited for when we've already got, say, the alternative Cutlass Red, which should be a medical ship? It's like, well, if you're advertising another one, is that going to be before or after the Cutlass? And surely
There
you should
won't
work on the
be.
Cutlass before the other one. Like, you wouldn't.
I seriously don't think there will be, because the whole conversation about the medical thing is that they said, first of all, we're getting knockdowns, knockbacks, that sort of stuff. Simple stuff, reactions. Then we're getting the MediPen. Instead of it being a permanent heal, it's going to be a temporary heal, but you'll still depreciate and you'll need to be repaired properly. Medical ships is the last thing we're going to get with the mechanics as well. So I can't imagine they would create a new concept for a medical ship when they know themselves that the medic mechanics is not coming for a long while.
Well, that's
The
what I mean.
whole
And they've
point of the
already got
roadmap-
ones that they can use. They don't need a new ship for
and
it.
the Cutlass is pretty much, the Cutlass, that's been revamped. So why wouldn't they just bring out the new Cutlass, the Cutlass Red?
Yeah, so I mean.
I don't think so.
Do you know why? The only reason I think that they don't bring out the Cutlass Red and the Cutlass Blue is to do with the modularity aspect, and the technology might not be ready for it. Because
I think we haven't got the mechanics
that would
for it.
be. Yeah, that's why they haven't done it. They've kind of maybe they've done the aesthetics to as much as they can do, and they've just been waiting now because they don't have that bit of tech ready, or it's not working properly. Or
Well, they're
want to
working on it
implement
for the
yet.
Avenger. I mean, the Avenger series. I know the Titan and the Stalker are supposed to be swappable, kind of stuff. But I think they may be
But
walking
do-
back on the
can
whole
they?
modularity, the drop in, drop out kind of stuff. That seems to be kind of going away
But
a little bit.
you got to be careful though if you do that, because the only reason I bought the Cutlass Blue, well, two reasons. One, the bigger shields, but the other reason was because of the fact that I could potentially adjust the back of it. You know, I could get bigger shields and I could take out the prisons if I wanted to, or the cages or whatever you want to call them. Out
The
back.
freezer
I could have,
pods.
yeah, one or two rather than all of them. You know, if I can't touch that and move that and alter the ship a little bit, then I have no interest in the Blue. I'll just
But they're always going to
sales.
have a concept ship for sale. It seems like so. They're running the concept sales a lot longer, so people don't have to have a lot of money saved up in preparing for the concept ship. If they want to purchase it, they could just wait for the paychecks to come in, then get the concept, because they're running about a month now for every concept they release. I suspect if they do another concept ship, they may decide to do like an ambulance style ship, standalone ambulance style ship, where
it doesn't kind of make sense. Like the reason we had the Vulture and the Prospector is because we had no other ship. Well, apart from a giant mining ship, we had no other ship that could really do that in the first mechanic basis. And the same with the Reclaimer. We have no small ship that can just go and do that. Whereas we have a ship that can be a medic. It's the Cutlass.
Vulcan.
The Vulcan. The Vulture Vulcan. The Venture.
I get those
Get
mixed
that
up.
muddled up, yeah.
But yeah, so we've got a ship that can do that. They don't need a whole new concept ship just to bring in a medic profession. We've got
and they
ships
wouldn't
that are
do
capable.
that. They wouldn't do that. So I don't think.
Well, I wouldn't say they wouldn't.
They will.
Because they are very. They do
not
like to keep
now,
bringing new
sorry,
profession
not now
ships.
they won't do that. I don't think that's what that was
Well,
meant. I think it was
again,
just
you say that, but then,
misleading.
like, do we think how close do you think we got reclaiming, and how close do you think we got to
Reclaiming.
Yeah, reclaiming.
Salvaging.
Well, reclaiming.
Same difference.
honestly,
Reclaiming stuff.
I
Same
don't
I
thing.
always they will do whatever they fuck they want to do.
If it's
That
just
might
to
do it.
sell a ship
They
and
don't-
make money, they'll do it anyway.
CRG
It doesn't
power.
matter if it's got 2 years to wait for the mechanic. I mean, look at
Yeah.
the Banu Merchantman. It's like,
they'll do whatever they want to do. If they think it, yeah. And again, I don't fault them for it. It just I've kind of come to the place where I'm just like, honestly, just do what you want to do. Just do
I
what
think
you
there's
gotta
no
do.
need for it because of the Cutlass Red being an ambulance, but that doesn't 100% mean they wouldn't do it. But it's illogical to do it. It's probably the easiest way of saying
Here
it.
we go. I got you. I just had a brainstorm. How about a variant, something similar to the Cutlass Red, except it's a ground vehicle.
Like an ambulance.
Yes, a legit ambulance.
That
What
could
about
be
a
something, especially if we're
that
having
would-
knockdowns and things
That
like
would
that.
kind of make sense, but yeah, again, I don't. Yeah, no, I like that idea, but I don't think it's likely.
Tumbrel Medic.
Some sort of mobile. Yeah, Tumbrel Medipack version variant, or Nova. Yeah,
Or
Nova
a
Medipack.
Rover,
Just a
an Ursa
Medipack
Rover
with
with them.
wheels.
Well, you could have an
Just a
Ursa
fucking-
Rover with a med bed in the back.
There you go.
Yeah.
A grey cat, grey cat.
Gray crap. The gray crap.
That's when you know you need
Medical-
medical attention. When you crack
Hearst, a stretched Hearst version. of the
Gray
grey
cat, stretched gray cat. That has a fucking hearse. That's a hearse.
That's
No.
what I would be rolling with every day.
He's
of the
done
week.
for. Get him in the back.
Chuck him
You
in
know
the
it's
have a
you know
lot
it's
of
pronounced Corsman, not Corpseman, right? Bring out your dead. Ding, ding, ding.
They need
Bring out
they
your
need that
dead.
as a profession. They need the Undertaker profession in the game.
You know,
that's for sure.
I could see like a little mobile, like an Ursa Rover with like a little deployable
med bed in
base
the
that
back,
you
yeah.
drive out there. It expands out a little bit, kind of like it just kind of opens up a little bit. You get a bigger room and has some medical facilities inside it. And you can just
Like a
set it down somewhere.
CSI thing. Every time there's a dead body, you got to go and spread it over the top like a tent.
You could do like a variation on the whole series, so how the whole series kind of opens up, and those could be all individual body chamber thingies.
That's a funeral car. That's
We
different.
used to do a lot of massacres, so here's a whole heap. Can we gather all the dead bodies, please?
I could just a stretch cart of dead bodies. I
Yeah.
would buy that. I would buy like a fucking funeral parlor. Out of an LD
It would be
funeral parlor.
easier just to blow the thing up and then collect any ash that you can in the urn.
With like
there you go. And
Oh my God.
family members.
For those of you who have questions, use the exclamation question. For those of you who have complaints, you're gonna have to contact Twitch customer support.
Twitch customer.
Send messages to
555
CIG.
29. Fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck
Okay.
off.
I got another idea because my brain is just. I'm on kind of like he's doing brainstorms. I'm doing brainwaves. We've got the same thing. The other one could be like again with the whole E series, but you know how again similar type of thing, but instead of dead bodies and dead people just floating around in space, you could have
That's called a
escape
brothel.
pods.
It's called a
you can have
brothel. Live
you can
bodies
have
is
escape
called a
pods.
brothel.
So the escape pods, like you can like activate the trackers, and then they all kind of zoom in to the compartments in the whole series. So in theory, you know, after a big thing, people could all escape in their escape pods and fly out, and then in comes the whole E. And
You're on
then
about like a big escape pod Hoover.
yeah, exactly.
Super
And it like sucks all the escape pods in.
Pods up.
That would be pretty dope.
And then
I
it
think.
turns
In my
into
head,
the
I can see
funeral
it. It'd be
cart
pretty
as you
cool.
just.
How much to get
I
away.
like this idea of like scooping up. What? Okay, let's take this to the next logical. Let's put my twist
You
on
said
it.
logical first. Let's just.
Let's
Then you take it to
logical.
prison.
Do you take a reclaimer,
Slave-
right? You attach
slave
this
ship.
whole E to this reclaimer, right? The grinder on the reclaimer, because
just
it's the
picks the
enemy
pod
escape
out.
pods, right? It grinds them all up, right?
Mm.
And it extrudes this nutrient paste out the back.
It's like the Matrix.
That
isn't
everybody.
it?
Yeah.
It's like
Wow.
it's kind of no, but I just think that you could turn it into a fun thing. You could turn it into a slave thing. So obviously you could
You can
rock
turn
on
off
in
the
with your
grinders,
pirate
and you can
version.
have slave collars installed in them, kind of like the
Yeah.
stognification from Quake 4. Yeah, I can see it.
Mhm. Or well, I remember the collars is not from Quake 4. That's from a little film called The Running Man.
Oh, the running
A
man.
little bit before, and probably before. I don't know if it was ever before that, but there was The Running Man was that was with the collar. Classic scene. Don't run for the gates, you fool! Listen to Arnold. He knows what he's talking about.
Go, run, get to the chopper. Oh, no.
I
I'm
hope you
glad
left
I'm
room
glad
in your
we fixed
stomach
that
because
up.
I'm going to ram my fist in your throat.
Mm.
Yes.
It's so hot. Look at that, already gone. Jeez.
And you thought we were not going to have any content. Here we're talking about making nutrient paste from dead bodies.
I think it's cool. No one's talked about it. No one I know has talked about it. I'm sure somebody somewhere has talked about it, but no one's mentioned
Yeah,
it.
Hitler.
I mean, like
Wow.
combining the
Well, like a big
tractor
train.
beam
I didn't.
and the
Did I say
reclaimer.
gas chambers? Did I say gas
You
chambers?
just did. Context is key there, son.
I didn't say gas chambers.
To be
I
fair,
said,
let's move on before the.
So,
Go on.
one of the
God.
things that was on ATV was which is a good thing to talk about, is the habs. No, don't clip, please, because this is on my channel, and I didn't utter a single word about any of that.
No, Christian. Let's just
So,
turn it off quick before he has chance.
Yeah, that was about the only thing that was on ATV, which was basically about the houses, the habs.
Oh, I'm gonna get to the
890.
end, but I'm really
890.
attached to this, so don't skip.
890 was 890. Do you want to talk about the 890 instead?
Okay, you did the 890, and then when he comes back, we can talk about the habs.
We'll do
Because
that.
he wanted
Yeah.
to talk about them. Go on. Then.
So the 890, I was like, oh, mama. Like, wow, that looks like.
I'm glad we discussed
I
that.
openly admit when the 600 came out and they launched it, and there was a bit of confusion with regards to how many missiles it would have and what was the point of it, and didn't really understand it as a ship and what's luxury and the price of it and all that. So I still agree about the price being too expensive, but that's beside the point.
Luxury is
At
really
the end of the
expensive.
day, at the end of the day, you can get the ship in game anyway. It doesn't matter. But once you got the ship and you could see it and you could walk around in it, and you just how pretty it was, and just like the idea, I got the idea of a party boat, and I understood what that type of fun ship will be like, just cruising around, and maybe you can put other things on it, a land miner, I don't know, whatever. And I got it. I kind of saw and understood, because we didn't at the time when it was pitched. I don't think we even had planets yet. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't really see the expanded universe. People were saying to us, it's like they were telling us, the CIG people were saying to us, "Hey, don't worry, it'll make sense." And we're like, "Oh, no, it's not going to make sense." It's like, no, it'll make sense, but you haven't played 3.0 yet, so you have no idea how big the universe is. You don't understand. And so now I play that, and I play 3.1, and I understand it. I get it. And I am now, when I see the 890 and it's just even more of the 600 plus whatever else there is, I'm just like, God damn, that's going to be a good ship. That's just going to be such a pretty ship.
590 more than the 300i. That's the 890.
It's just
Or
yeah, it's
something.
just-
I fucked the math up.
There's some 10%
it's
somewhere.
you know it's going to be a big ship when it
Yeah.
has those, like, you know, when you go into a house, if you go into someone's house and you go to a mate's house or whoever's rich person's house, and you see 2 staircases going up because I can, going up to the top,
For the
you know
traffic.
you're in someone. You're someone's got way too much money. And I'm like, oh wow, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, this
The only
is.
time I've been into some rich person's house is when I'm robbing them. But they do all have staircases that are.
Someone clip that from that.
Please don't. I've got to fit a TV, yoink. But that 890 jump is looking very fancy. What was it Chris said, other than this is bullshit? That
I don't like it.
was something. He said it was bigger. If you thought the 600i was luxurious or big.
If you didn't like luxury for the 600, then this isn't your bag type of thing. Is kind of what he said.
Yeah.
You know. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna have
You
like a
won't like this.
ballroom. I'm sure it's gonna have like a glass dome on the front of the bow. That's just like a ballroom, just a big empty space for just having a dance.
That
or something.
dancing mode. That one dancing mode.
That one dancing mode.
Oh, the 7. Do you reckon we could eventually have like a dancing mode where you can join hands and
Dance cheek to cheek.
So you're going to turn it into Fortnite? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a request in if anyone wants to
Oh
help.
my god! You got any special someone you're thinking about over there?
Toby.
There you go.
what was think? Toby, the cuddly thought, isn't he? Really?
He's the warmest. Gotta be with that big old white fur. But anyway, the 890 jump is looking very nice. I wasn't really that. I'm not a big fan of high expense sort of stuff. I like the grungy looking horrible stuff. But the 600i I thought was very nice. And if it's anything like that or beyond, then it's just gonna be.
The only thing I hated about the 600i was the pool table. Literally unplayable. Ruined it for me.
All you can do is shoot it, which is a bit shit.
Yeah.
I can't wait till that's in.
Wait till you get FOIP, then you'll be able to go. Unlike
But I
catch the ball in your mouth.
did love the upskirt bartender. The upskirt window for the bar upstairs.
Oh yes, I never considered that.
You can look up.
Why did I not? Oh, she looks down. There's like 12
teenage boys. 12 teenage boys.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old we are, we're still gamers. But
How big is that?
Yeah,
Is that
I
15
can't wait till the pool
centimeters?
table's in. When you think like we could do a podcast playing pool,
There you go.
We could.
and it'll be like, wait, I'll answer
Beers
in a
and
second.
pool.
Yeah.
And
I
then
wonder
Landis
if
will
they
come
could-
and blow your ship up, and you'll be like,
I wonder if since CIG is in with Amazon, right? I wonder if we can get Amazon on demand for the TV inside the 600i, because it does have 2 seats in front of a big screen. I wonder if we can get start watching
Amazon
the
Prime.
Expanse. Yeah, Amazon Prime.
That'll be cool. I mean, we said this just came on the stream today about getting some sort of like Twitch in game, or I know CIG want to do that, and we've already had, which was hard drive based, the jukebox in the hangars where you could put your own music on it. So I know they've said they want to get live streams in game and like watching the sports happening and hopefully news channels from someone's Reliant Mako. But I don't just want to watch news and sports. But I think,
there was mention about CIG now being in partner with Amazon and being in partner with the Twitch, and there was mention about that with Twitch integration and stuff. So I definitely think it's something we're probably going to see.
It'll just be
it'll
partner
just be
streamers.
partners.
It'll be the usual crew. It'll be the people who've been the popular ones again, who will be come back again. It'll all be
those people that don't actually know how to
stuff.
stream, but they're partners anyway.
Well, no, it'll just be the guys. it'll be the guys. It'll be the people who are getting the 1,000, 2,000, whatever views. It'll be the bad news barons. It'll be the DJ.
Yeah, you will probably get a purple Twitch armor set, like the gold
I
one.
don't know. I think they'll allow it. I think they'll allow anyone.
Oh, they're not. No, they're not going to allow just affiliate streamers. You're going to have
You
to.
gotta be PG.
broadcasted into.
You
Yeah, you
gotta
got to
be
be PG. You got to have that bubble wrap.
No, I won't be.
You can't be
No
talking about
chance.
turning people into nutrient paste.
Nutrient.
I don't think you need to be
And then the
PG.
occasional Hitler chat.
An occasional Hitler joke, yeah, that I'd not.
It'll be
see
the pirate
coming.
radio. might make pirate radio fun. It might be us lot would be on pirate radio
Yeah.
maybe if they do
Yes,
the
breaking it through.
You have
That'd
to
be
you have to
cool.
sign up. You have to get like a PIN number or something and log in, and you can kind of. I would love the idea of that. I would absolutely love the idea that you could plug Twitch in and you could watch your favorite streamers and you could hook it in. I think that would be
Mint.
a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. But and I'm sure they'll try and do something to try and hook in to the gaming
I
community.
mean, they got
Should
so many
be-
monitors everywhere that you can just switch over to something while you're traveling.
But
Yeah.
in like
Purple Twitch. I
Vermintide,
like
they've
the
got
idea
the
of
integration of Twitch where you can like summon a potion or you can make a bad mob spawn or something like that. So if you're like laying there dead on the floor almost, they could like give you a med pen, or they could not
Yeah.
give you a med pen and just watch
Or they
you
can
die.
give you they can give you an oxy-pen when you needed a medi-pen. Because
Yeah.
fuck you. That's like going to a restaurant and tipping with like a penny. Like just putting a penny on there. That's like that is like the metaphysic. That is like the metaphor for the middle finger right there. Not even worth picking up. Here's exactly what you do. Here's some bullets. I got you.
I've got you, buddy. It's okay. You're going to be fine. I've got you. You're like, oh shit! Oh no, never mind. Sorry, pal.
I need this. Sorry.
We had time earlier, but I got the wrong one. Never mind. See you later.
I've got some cool trainers though. Do you want these fucking trainers?
Look at my purple Twitch armor. It's awesome.
Damn it.
Okay, so
Oh, man.
Jack has in chat says important question. This is an important one. Actually. I heard rumours that there will be an all-female species, though no details about it. If an alien woman who was closet straight kneeled in front of you and took your hand, paused for effect, and asked you to lay eggs with her, what would you say?
Yes.
Like
I'm going to argue with an alien woman. I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I'll just like, throw a few eggs down on the floor.
I'd ask
Is she the one laying
I'd
the
ask
eggs, or you?
where? I would say where are these eggs going? And
Is she a salmon or
what's his
something?
egg?
I just
I've seen Enterprise when he has the relations with the girl in the fancy sand, and then the next thing you know is he's giving birth to weird. Nah.
And what's that like?
I've seen that. I've seen Aliens. Okay, I've seen Alien. I know where this is going.
It sounds more like species, to be fair.
Yeah. It depends how hot she was and how drunk I was. I think that's the reality of the two.
If she was blue, maybe.
If she was orange,
I
then
mean,
yes.
If it was
'Cause I could
Zoe
make
some
Saldana's
orange
kind of
things.
Now,
green.
here's the thing: if you could take the alien eggs and turn them around and sell them as high class caviar to your fellow humans,
But
But
they're
then
going to
she
be
would eat your
yours.
face.
So there's nothing high class about this lot.
like I'm just thinking if we could nutrient paste with caviar, a nutrient paste pate with some alien, caviar.
What was
I'm
it?
just-
What was it?
Do we
The
know if this is gonna
Orville,
be
where the two blokes laid the egg and they have to sit there and like wait for it to hatch. It could be like that. You're the one that's going to be
Yes,
laying the egg. That's what she
exactly,
means.
Matt,
It's like-
Matt, don't tell me how to raise my
Egg.
unborn children.
My egg,
Okay,
my egg.
I'm gonna turn them into caviar, and we're gonna use them to pay for the tuition for the other 10,000.
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
that's just the luck of the
This
draw.
is
It's
so dark.
medical
That's so
experimentation for a lot of
This
you.
is so dark. I've got like two things. I'm thinking, does anyone remember Red Dwarf? There's an episode in season 6 called Sirens, where they think they get lured down by alien weird creatures, but they actually look like they're women to try and lure the cat in and try and have it. I was just like, I wonder if they could do something like that. If that's what you mean, it would be like you think it's an attractive human, but actually it's a weird alien, and you're getting kind of.
Oh, I've had that happen to me a few times.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
every
it's like,
time-
you think
every
it's
time I go-
attractive.
Every time I
You wake
go
up
out
in the morning.
drinking, with my friends, I always wake up next to their ugly roommates. I always go home with the prettiest of girls, but I always wake up next to their ugliest ugly roommates.
You want the girl I went to bed with? What?
Yeah. I'm not
sure I
claiming
went to
that
bed
one.
with your sister. No, never mind. Oh Jesus Christ!
We didn't discuss habitation.
No,
much
because
yet,
you
have
went off, so we'll
Yeah.
discuss that now.
I think we
So-
all went off script there. By the
Ooh,
way,
yeah. Shall
Good
we
question though,
bring-
and it was an important question. Needed to be answered.
What,
Yeah,
had
it wasn't.
its
It did say important question, so we had to answer it. Really.
Had its place somewhere.
It was a very important question. Hang on, I've got this fancy new water sport
Uh-oh.
thing. It's
What have you done to my bot?
what is happening to Miss
What have you
Bot?
done to my bot? Who broke it?
Let's-
Oh, Oh, my
Oh
God. It was
no!
talking about. Now the aliens are coming back. At us.
That's all the
All the
caviar.
children have spawned, and they're now inside the.
It's giving
the
head and
system.
script and stuff. Who did that?
Oh my. See,
God.
I've got an Autobot now for some reason. I never knew I had an Autobot. Suddenly, an Autobot has arrived in my Twitch channel.
Why is it saying head? What have you got it set up to
I
do?
don't
with
know.
Just like
You've been hacked.
HTML.
it?
He's being
Lucas
hacked
said
by
it-
Twitch already.
Oh my God!
They're
Right.
setting up surveillance in this.
Don't do it. Don't. Look, I love the way that someone broke it by doing exclamation mark stats. So what does everybody else do? Well, let's try doing exclamation mark stats and see what happens when the next person does it.
That's
You
what humans
fucking
do.
trolls.
Let's keep
I've closed it,
bashing the
it's not-
same hole and see what happens.
Right, when you've all got it out your system, I'll start the bot again.
Brilliant.
I think the bot's broken, miss.
You think?
Jesus Christ! Mac, you're just.
That's Mac's technical ability with Twitch.
I think
What was it?
If I'm correct, that's not working right, is it? I think Miz needs to.
I don't know. Have you tried turning it off and
It
turning
was,
it on
it was
again?
supposed to be
It's a
exclamation
quick
mark
stop.
struts. It wasn't stats, it was struts.
Oh, exclamation struts. Is that what you want us to do?
Is that true? Is that just now send you money
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if you
all our
if you
bank
do
account
exclamation
details.
marks. Wow.
straight to me?
Nothing.
Stop it! Stop it,
Everyone's like,
Vertigo. Oh, you
more head
bastard.
and stream orgasm.
It automatically
happens
empties
when
your
you-
bank
That's
account
what happens
into
when
mine.
you bang on it
Just,
on enough.
It just automatically empties your bank account and gives me all your money, so.
Well, commands works. That's good. At
Don't-
least there's one command
Oh,
working.
you fool.
You fool. Uh-oh, Mizbot.
Right.
HTML
Jesus.
lang equals
It's because,
EM.
like, seriously,
Head's
let me
back
at least
again.
edit the fucking bot before you do that. Okay, so we've got no bot for the rest of the
Like
show.
fucking space
Well,
odyssey.
thank you,
It's-
guys.
Fucking turn
so-
the bot off and move on.
I've turned it off. I was trying to
Yeah.
turn it back on, but you
Just
trolls.
euthanize the fucking bot for all
I
of the
have.
5 minutes.
For anyone in YouTube, when you watch this back, we do apologize. You can't see any of this chat. It's just we will be. I will be.
We're gonna
updating
integrate
the
chat,
overlays.
Are you seriously not going to
Chat.
edit this out?
We're not
No.
gonna right click, delete, right
we
click
edit stuff?
backspace.
I don't think so.
Oh,
in the
Mr.
editor.
Brimstone, thank you very much, sir. 13 months. There is
You just
nothing
feel sorry for your
like
brain.
me
That's why
giving
he's just
stream
like, oh
head.
my God.
Yes.
Just gotta give-
Put this towards a better bot.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's nothing like Miz giving head.
Okay. Let's talk about the habitation. Okay, let's
Yes,
talk about
habitation.
We
Yeah,
almost
let's
got
do
to
that.
talk about the habitation.
Let's talk about habitation.
Everybody
tell me
liking?
tell me about habitation.
It's orange,
Yes,
so I like it.
Yes, it's orange. It looks comfy. You have
Is this
that
what
built.
you're
This is
excited
one
about?
concept. There's two concepts. There's this
Oh.
one, and then there's the other pictures is of the
That says-
same.
The only thing, it
There's
does
two.
say fake on the wall, so maybe it's not real.
That's just a fake cupboard. You open it up, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
No, the
Why?
cupboard doesn't even open. It's just a panel that looks
Ooh.
like
Yeah.
a cupboard.
Ooh,
With a
the
handle.
rich-
This one's
like, the fuck?
grimy.
This is.
But
This
I
is,
like that
oh.
one.
Is that like
It's-
a
it's
fire
very
brigade
much-
suit in the left?
Yes,
Or a hazmat suit or something?
it's probably your
Something like
spacesuit.
that.
You have to dry them out. Have you sweat
Star
inside
Wars
them?
helmet.
That's the alien girl that took her clothes off. That's in the back. That's what she was wearing when she came into the house. That's yeah. I'm waiting for the
comfy.
really expensive. The really
It's
expensive.
like Blade Runner. It's like Blade Runner crossed with
Fifth
what was
Element.
the Fifth Element. Yeah.
It's the 29th century, the 30th century, and we still have to hang our clothes up to dry. Really?
Only if you're a utilitarian type of guy.
Oh,
You
maybe
don't
it's
know
like
what
that new age hippie shit. Maybe that's the new. It's like it's the thing to do, right?
Go back in time.
you
Yeah,
are
hit
failed.
retro. Go
You're fired.
minimal. Say maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a different compound. They just put it on it and it instant dries
Why would they hang it up then?
to make it go like straight or whatever.
It's
that's
just
called.
rigid.
It goes straight. I've heard that
like
works.
a frozen pair of trousers.
This goes rigid.
I don't know. Maybe it
But
stops because they have mice, so it keeps them off the ground from being nibbled. I
Nice.
have no idea.
If they've got robot vacuums already, they'll have robot vacuums that destroy mice.
Well, they haven't got
And
robot
then you just
vacuums.
hook
You've
that
seen
up,
the
you just
janitors.
you just park a reclaimer outside and you pump all the mice you collect over the months into
You
a
reclaim
reclaimer,
all those
and then you
mice.
turn it into a nutrient paste for your population.
If there is any Vertigo food supplies in the verse, I am not eating that shit at all. There is no way I'm going near it. It's like, the fuck is this?
It comes in a toothpaste tube. You can actually it actually doubles as toothpaste. Like you can have breakfast and brush your teeth at the same time.
I can see you already. Right, okay. In the UK, we see like American. I always like the westerns.
It comes in a cock. It comes in
There's
like
that dude. There's that
gun.
American. No, but there's that American dude that always kind of like in the westerns is always selling some dodgy thing, and he's got like a stand.
Like tonics.
Oh yeah.
What, like these?
The
HC.
It will clear any problem you've got. You've even got the beard and the look. You could literally just, all you need is like the suit, the official suit, and you could have a poster behind you. You could actually be that character. Not enough girth. Don't you worry about that. We've got
HCVertigo's fluorinated nutrient paste.
Rat paste.
It cures erectile dysfunction, polio. You can brush your teeth with it, and you don't have to spit it out in the sink. You can just swallow it and gives you breakfast in the morning. HCVertigo's nutrient paste. Fluorinated.
That's what she says.
Now with 10% more vitamin E.
Oh my god!
I
Honestly,
don't think I'd buy anything that says Vertigo paste on
I'm
it.
going to be the one in the crowd that's like, I'll take 4.
Also try HCVertigo's nutrient paste suit repair cream. Can plug holes in your suit. And you can eat it too.
my kid, I got to
Just make sure to chew it really well, or it'll plug up your esophagus. Goes down well with HCVertigo's bowel loosener too. Warning on the suit repair would may cause constipation.
You've heard of putty filler? Well, that's like butty filler.
That's already 3 products that is going to sell.
It's already sold out. It's
all the same product. It's all the same fucking product.
Different label.
Just different label.
Oh my god! Honestly, I'm gonna have to try and find. I'm gonna see if I can find something. We'll clip that bit. We'll clip you, and I'm just gonna like cut your head again and put it
them on a station wagon.
I think it's
in the Wild West.
Oh.
It's perfect. What type of vehicle? What ship does he have to carry this in? It would
be a prospector for one, probably.
Prospector.
It's got to be something Drake, hasn't it? To be fair,
Drake. He has a Cutlass Black or something.
It's got to be an Ursa Rover, and you just open up the back hatch.
Well, yeah, you can do the back hatch off the Ursa Rover. I'm thinking a Cutlass Black. Set it down, open the sides. You just got the marketplace there. You got
throw them out to people.
Yeah, just throw them out to people.
Just rub it a little bit.
See, Chris.
HCVertigo's nutrient paste butthole cream, guaranteed to stop hemorrhoid swelling. And
you just put a little. Oh my god! I'm just thinking like you could use it for the ends of guns as well to keep it lubricated as well.
HCVertigo's gun lubrication.
Gun lubrication. Keep it lubricated.
Also,
HCVertigo's hemorrhoid cream. Sexual personal lubricant. Cooking oil too. You can use it as a cooking oil. It's like corn oil. It's just fucking. It does everything.
If there's anyone that's like a mature adult that's arrived on the stream, I do apologise. You come to the wrong place.
I think Brim just phoned and wants his sub back.
What the spacesuit chafing cream? Why not?
I mean, all you gotta do is come in.
Does it work? Do you know, like when runners have Vaseline for the nipples? Does it work for that as well?
Yeah, you just gotta throw a couple Tervarins in every so often, and then it does wonders.
I'm waiting for someone to leave a message saying, "Oh gosh, how many days into the Redacted podcast?" I just left it.
What are you talking about? This podcast will be redacted. Just in a couple hours. We disavowing the participation.
That's why we do it. We always do it on Mrs. channel.
Thanks.
Right. Sorry. In terms of the that was fucking hilarious. We have to.
Okay, serious face.
Internals. Like I'm all for the. Someone said to me in chat. They asked me a question. They were like, "Do you think that they will charge us? They will sell habitats and stuff. Do you think they'll sell it?"
No,
I was like,
lease. Lease.
no, but the thing is, I was like, yeah, because at the end of the day, they've sold the land that they're built on. So why not sell the shit that's built on top of it? I don't see why not. Why they wouldn't sell the
you'll be able to. You'll still. They said they still have to pay taxes or some shit on the land you get. You build your habitat complex on top of. So, but you will be able to get land.
One of the early backer fees is free landing fees on a
Really?
I don't even know. Yeah, I think you get free hangar fees on your starting planet or free landing. I don't know if it's going to be incorporated in any way to your hangar.
Let me look at the funding goals here.
It's an early backer reward, sorry, not funding goal.
No, that's the backer reward, right? Control
Yeah.
F landing.
Yeah, but it's so I don't know if it's. I mean, I personally don't think they will sell real estate as such like ships are. I think you will be able to buy and rent them in the game like they will have with ships in 3.3, sorry, fingers crossed. But it's, to me, this is like, I know there's actually people on saying, what's the point of this? And it's the idea that, you may not like it, but some people do. Like, I don't like dogfighting, but Madness loves it. So it's like, everyone has a different opinion.
I love this.
No, I don't mean this in particular. Yeah.
No, yeah, but I know what you mean. But I want to wake up. I'm bored of waking up in a room that I have no control over. I
Two
want
of
to
the
wake up
guys.
It's just tiring. It's just like, what's happened? This is not an experience I'm enjoying. But I genuinely I love the idea of I prefer the idea of, wouldn't you want to wake up in your own space or be able to choose in your own space where you've got your own shit and you've got your own permanent weapons and clothes racks and everything's in
your own grey
statue. Madness, in the middle of the room. You're just too banal for me. You're just too vanilla. I want to wake up in someone else's space with their clothing, their ships, their property, their wife, their house.
That's called
their wife, their kids, and then you realise, no, that's your family. You did wake up in your own house. Oh shit!
Wake up in their bed, fucking their wife, flying their Origin 300i to their job, killing their boss, and taking his shit too.
Yeah,
it's just free hangar fees on starting planet. That's the reward. Free hangar fees. It doesn't mean anything about real estate, but it could be incorporated in some way. I personally don't know how they're going to do hangars, because that was what the original idea, wasn't it? Is hangars on planets. Is you have a hangar that becomes your home because you can manipulate the building to build the rooms inside and change it around. I don't know what their plans are.
Your starting hangar better have no landing fees. Like, that's going to be, I assume all the starting areas, which are going to be spread out through the UEE. Like, some starting areas will probably be closer to Outlaw Space, and some will be located closer to Terra. Earth, I know, will have a couple different starting areas. Those better be free of cost. I tell you what, because that's going to kill a lot of the new players if you constantly have to start paying money.
That was, I mean, to be fair, it's a bit like LTI. It's not going to be so much that you even notice it, but the early backer fee was.
Then why have it? Why have it? If it's going to be so little you don't notice it, then why have the cost there at all?
That's a good point. I mean, I don't know why they put it in, but I think it's just more for immersion, for the sake of trying to.
I mean,
couldn't they make it like it's kind of you the company that you work for owns the habitat? You don't technically own it. You don't technically own the space. It's owned by the company that you perhaps sign up for, or whatever org or organization or whatever it is. You can't physically own a space until you have a certain amount of money. Now, you could choose to buy one, but then you have to pay for the rent and the fee of it. It makes more sense in theory to use the free one that you get with the org that owns the thing, and you get allocated pod 312 or whatever. And then when you earn enough money, you can go off and buy your own pod somewhere, or you can buy a land or buy a part of an apartment on a skyscraper or whatever else, That's the way I kind of envision it, rather than you own something straight off the bat. I kind of figured that would be the, and then you can, or you can, and we have the access to the hangars that we get from our ships, because obviously we have access to those wonderful hangars, but you don't activate it until you've got enough money to be able to run one of them. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's there, it's free. Like the ship's like a javelin. You don't activate unless you're loaded. You don't activate the javelin on the first day. You're a fucking idiot if you do.
Some people, I swear to God, some people are going to try to find it.
Reclaim 981 days.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But to be fair, it'll probably take that long to get the money back anyway.
400 and some odd million.
Yeah. Could you imagine the bill? Yeah, one day bill for taking it out.
I can imagine the tears of people seeing what it costs to run a javelin.
Ryland, is that true then? Sandy and Chris said in the last video that Artcourt is going to have starter apartments.
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
It was on the. I think it was on the latest one.
So they're going to be.
Citizen.
But like personally, I want an apartment like what we saw. That's my exact want. I don't want like a luxury penthouse. Does anybody?
Which one? I showed 3.
Yeah, I want one of
Second
those.
one.
I want a luxury penthouse on top
The
of a
second
massive
one with all the
building.
dirty tissues everywhere. I think. Mind you, yeah, that does suit you.
They're my fucking tissues, yeah, motherfucker.
Who doesn't want
use
a
them.
I'd love a you. I guarantee, Mac, you with the name called Wing Commander. You will want that penthouse eventually.
I mean, I just, I'd love to have your tissues too. I'm selling Super Mac Brothers nutrient paste.
Yeah, we're going to business with you.
It just
Super
every bottle of nutrient paste comes with guaranteed 0.1% of Super Mac Brothers Ryan in every bottle.
Yes. I can supply that. Don't worry.
There will definitely be. Who doesn't want to have the Dick Tracy Island apartment?
FAB Captain.
Who doesn't
What does
want
that even mean?
No, but I would love to have. Who doesn't want like a spy base or an underwater base or whatever? You know what I mean? Like,
I
there's
think
so
that's
much
what
potential.
Jack
An
has is
underwater spy
asking,
base.
would there be an option for an apartment over some form of explosives or an active volcano?
The evil
Swimming pool
double
with
seven.
sharks with lasers on there.
Sinkhole.
Mr. Bond, so good to see you.
Do you reckon they'll implement sinkholes on certain planets?
Potentially.
it
I
was
mean,
a
we already
joke.
have a borehole.
It was a fucking joke.
Uh,
We got a
You don't answer the
wormhole,
question.
so why not?
Stop answering the question. It was a fucking joke.
It's no way.
I think you got wormholes, so why not?
I'll sink into your hole.
Oh
Mac.
yeah, boom. We need some of your paste though, just to
Yes,
make sure.
I know, just to kind of get it started.
And bring your pillow.
Bring your pillow. Oh yeah, what was her name? Mizuki? Mizuki?
You don't say you forgot a name.
Yeah, sorry. It's a new pillowcase today. Okay, I'm still getting used to her.
She's demanding.
She's she's a demanding mistress.
Shall we move on quick?
Madness has moved on. It looks like.
Yeah, madness is gone. That's it now.
He's like, this was a mistake.
Someone did ask the question, like, do you think you'd be able to break into someone else's apartment?
This is
I
actually.
think-
Go on. Sorry, you go.
I don't think so. I just that's probably at some point you need to have a place where you could just put shit.
What, so you think it's alright
I-
to shoot people anywhere, like in Port Olisar, but not... Oh, no, don't break into their apartment.
Because it's like it's where
You
you put
can
your
murder,
trophies and
but
whatnot.
don't break in.
Your trophies and your posters and shit you find in the
What if
universe.
I keep my trophies in my pockets?
Fucking irrelevant questions from miserable.
Don't shoot me. Well, no, he's saying you can't break in because it's where you keep your trophies. Well, you can't
No,
shoot me
it's
because I keep my trophies. in
Like, the big question that people are asking is it's not a big question. There's not like Karak's the biggest, but the question is it going to be instanced where you go into an elevator, then you're in your apartment, no one else can get to unless you invite them? I believe it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be a
Probably.
corridor with all these different rooms that you can go and visit and knock on them like hello, because then it's that sort of people want that privacy space for their equipment. They want a place where they can just go and get away from. It sounds like a
not
real
get
life.
fucking shot in the streets.
Yes.
Not get shot. Not wake up.
It's like being
not wake up and do that stupid bed animation. You get out of your bed, you stand up. Someone else is already in the room, and you stand up right into a barrel of a gun. They shoot
Don't
you,
forget
and
you
then
gotta crack your
stand
back.
up out of it again.
Crack your back first, and then
He's stuck in that
There's
loop.
no
It's
way
just-
they're going to allow that to happen where you can be
I
shot
would-
in your own apartment. Just
I
Have you
would
seen
fucking love to see that bug. Like you wake up, get out of bed, someone shoots you, then you wake up in the same room only to
But
get
have
shot
you
again.
seen Altered Carbon?
griefing.
It's like where
Or
she's
is
got
that
all the
piracy?
where she's got all the pods where all the body keeps waking up and the body just keep killing them every time it respawns. How
I
much
think-
did you
I
pay for
think-
these clones?
I think that is piracy, though.
That is griefing. That is piracy.
It's not
He's
piracy
killing
if you
the
don't let them to actually speak. You just.
It's not. It's not griefing if they can't consent. Here's a ball gag. What are you talking about?
As soon as I get out of this, I'm going to kick.
It's like one of those where you get like a word out each time and that's about it. It's just like, hey, get that. Stop, please, wait, I got money. Fuck. So do you think you'll be able to loot? Oh, I think we've had this before, but loot people's bodies if you kill them. Fucking all he's got is Vertigo Viagra. I'm not having that.
How good would it though? When you get him on the reload, though, after 100 attempts, he's finally run out of bullets. He's on the reload. You got him. He just be like
2 words out.
No, he'll be reloading just as you do that stupid animation by going,
oh yeah.
You actually get to crack your
you're stretching like that, and he's like,
no. He finishes reload just as you stand up.
I tell you what, if you looted Vertigo's body, you'll just find fucking HCVertigo paste all over it.
Everywhere.
Like, fucking, well, it sells somewhere. Let's get it in the back.
Bottles everywhere in his house.
Can I just say, it's fucking raining outside. It's been months since I've seen rain.
not here.
And that was an exaggeration. It's probably been a few weeks.
And that's an Englishman saying that.
That's an Englishman, yeah. I just want to go... I'm gonna see you.
Normally, you never hear that. You never hear that. Never hear an Englishman going, "Oh, rain."
Oh, it's raining. Same thing with us out here. It's like, oh, it's raining in Seattle. Who gives a shit? It rains all the time in Seattle.
Even less
It's
as
like
a
a couple of
Welshman.
weeks without it. Couple of weeks without it, you miss it.
Yeah.
What was it?
Calexus asks if we don't see Core Tech implementation this year, what else are you looking forward to, and will you have something to say about it? This is a podcast. Of course, we'll have something to say about it.
Welcome to the podcast. We'll always have something.
We don't have anything to say. We find something to say.
We don't have anything to say.
We said this was going to be a really short podcast, and we've managed to drag it out so far
It's
to
gonna be
11,
2 hours.
and we haven't talked about a single thing to do with Star Citizen. So we can definitely find something to say
10%.
about
Remember, 10%. Everybody, every podcast contains at least 10% Star Citizen.
But yet, the less content that Star Citizen gives us, the more wild we go per show. That's the way it seems to be. And then we kind of, the more content they give us, the more focused we are. Yeah, in terms of stuff, if they don't give us core stuff, I think again it comes back to, for me, it's the ship buying. It's really important for me, and continued improvements for ESP and targeting, and getting rid of that on rails gluey thing, which I don't really like. So
the non-consensual autopilot that is ESP.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Also, I got to take a little tangent here. This week, I actually engaged in a lot of non-consensual PvP, and I got chided in game for. I've never experienced this before until now. Non-consensual withdrawal from combat. I withdrew from combat without someone's consent, and they sent me fan mail through Spectrum over this. They're like, "You're a coward for pulling." Okay, first of all, I ran out of ammo and missiles.
You're telling us
the
you
first
pulled
engagement.
out.
I wouldn't call that fan mail, to be fair.
I call it fan mail.
I call it family. I call it family planning. That's what
Family
I call it.
planning.
Yeah.
Pulling out.
What words did she say to you when you pulled out?
Did the fridge fart when you pulled out? That's what you want to know. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
That's the furthest the digression of this conversation has ever gone. I'm still trying to figure out what that even means.
I don't
tell
want
you
to know
later.
what it
Ask
means.
Ross.
Ask your
This is
father.
how I
Ask your
realize I'm
father.
older than everyone here. This is how I realize
your
I'm
father.
older than everybody here. This is how I kind of go, yeah, I know a few things a bit more. Okay, let's move
Not
on.
really. By about a little bit.
36. How old are you?
35.
Yeah. Mac is a baby. And
Mac is a
HC, you're a
baby.
baby as well, aren't you?
I'm the same. Nope, I'm the same age as you, baby.
You're my age, 36. Good lad.
Yep.
Oh, so I'm not the only one. Different continent though, different jokes.
I got the gray hair coming in the sides here.
Yeah, same.
Unfortunately.
Look at me. It's crazy. It's like-
I'm actually quite liking the grey hairs coming in. At first, I was a bit concerned.
Oh well, I'll see you tonight. You'll get more gray hairs coming in.
Bring your pace.
Was it you, Mac? You're talking about
It also helps colour hair.
Yes, it also helps
hair
HC
dye.
Vertigo's hair
Are you
dye
balding?
paste combo.
I think I peed a little bit on that one. Be right back. Gotta change my undies. Oh, gotta go get something in. I'm only 21. Yeah, that's never mind. It happens. I found a grey hair on my chest for the first time though. today. I was like, because Mac, when you were talking about it, and then
Yeah,
I got very
Just the one
self-conscious, so I had to check, and then I was like, "Yep, I got one." I was like,
Yeah.
"Woo."
You got one?
In fact, this one's Max one. You can have it back.
This is Max. Yeah, it's like, wow. I was like, shit. Yeah, definitely getting old. That's for sure.
I know. I figured I could make better tips and donations on my Twitch stream if I got a push up bra. But unfortunately, it's like a sparrow's nest between my tits.
You can make Chinese soup out of it, or is it
Exactly
Vietnamese soup or something? I don't know. What's the nation?
Just all you got to do is just get one of your bottles of
HCVertigo. HCVertigo's hair removal wax nutrient paste. It's all the same fucking bottle. HCVertigo's hair replacement tonic, guaranteed to cure baldness, male pattern baldness.
It's all just fucking ground up rats and human beings.
It's exactly the character of occasional Tervon. The occasional Tervon and Banu.
I wonder, do you think they'll do like, in Altered Carbon, which I really think is cool, they have like the huge skyscrapers that go all the way up and exit the atmosphere. So you get that beautiful kind of, utopia. Similar to Elysium. And then similar to let's slightly ignore that bit. But if you go to like Elysium, where the movie Elysium, you have obviously the ground level, everything's trash, but then in space is this beautiful station.
A bit like Project Eden.
Glorious. Yeah. And it's like, do you think we'll have that where there's going to be a real distinct difference between
what is the name of that?
And the poor.
Certain places may. That would be
ecology.
Is that what it's called?
An ecology is a self-contained structure that its environment is recycling. Essentially, the internals inside the walls of the ecology are self-sustaining. So the air is recycled, the food is recycled.
No, are you meaning more like the scummer on the ground level? And
no. That's a class system. That's
that's what you meant, wasn't it, Madness?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of the way. If anyone's watched Metropolis, okay, so that was like a fantastic movie. It really kind of painted the idea of like modern civilization and how the poor are the oppressed physically underneath, and the rich and the more successful are high above. It's very kind of that whole kind of ideology, and the same thing with Blade Runner kind of expanded on that, and that whole kind of archetypical design ethos of like kind of the wealthy live in the towers and live at the top of the towers.
Shit falls down. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But the idea of having like a spire structure, which is called an ecology, which has the
yeah, and it kind of
has anyone played Project Eden? It's an old game, like PlayStation 1.
No. Have you got a link? Someone find a link and put it in chat.
Yeah, someone can find it. It's basically a game where you were like playing 4 policemen, and I think you could switch between them. They each had their own roles. Like there was a female, there was a robot, there was a male, and you like the high echelons of society lived way above the ground because it was so overcrowded. They built up. So the rich, the people with the wealth, was high above the ground. It was really cool. The game, when you look at it now, looks shite. But as a game back in that day, it was like so cool. And I would love to see that. Artcore suits it so well, but I'd love to see that in terms of styling, where there is a place where the you go down to the ground level. A mission requires you to go down to the ground level, and it's and it's like really dangerous down there. They're just drug dealers. It's just scum down there.
And HCVertigo.
HCVertigo with his paste.
My nutrient paste. HCVertigo's gutter cleaning nutrient paste. Use it on your brooms. Use it on your brooms. Cleans up human waste out of the gutters and unflugs your toilet.
Cures HIV.
Final Fantasy 7 had the similar thing with the Mako reactor.
No, you're thinking of what the fuck is the name of that city? Shinra Tower.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah,
I think quite a lot of
trash.
quite a lot of things in even society now feel like the higher you're up, the better you've made it. Basically,
I don't know if we're gonna have mega structure. We have ArcCorp, which is gonna be a city-sized planet.
But I
don't know if we're gonna have
really see anything about going up, because that probably causes all sorts of shit.
Political shit.
Yeah,
I
crushing their starfarer into it as it. Going along.
Well, if they're the scum of the earth, it doesn't really matter, take them out.
Well, they're not at the top, are they? The ones at the bottom are scum.
Well, they're the scum that are just too wealthy, they're scum.
The wealthy
I like the The middle ground.
They're all scum.
Middle scum. It's different degrees of
middle
scum until you get to the top level scum, and then you're into.
HCVertigo's what the 1% nutrient paste made from the ground up bodies of the 1%ers of the universe.
Oh, God.
Feel what
What
it.
have we
Be able to
started?
feel what it.
What have we
Yeah, feel what
started?
it. Feel the taste. Feel the flavor of being the rich. Feel the
Okay.
rich flavor.
You're gonna write this down before
He's
you
gonna
fucking go
write,
off.
write these down. Write these down. You're
Yeah.
almost in the perfect environment. We could kind of create a background for you. A little bit more artistic, appropriate background.
Doubles up as napalm.
We'll
They
get
said they
Jaylee to
wanted to
design
add-
you a
add-
character.
They said they wanted to add a chef as a character in the when with Jaylee and Disco Lando on the last Reverse the Verse. I have a great idea for my
So
character.
funny.
I'd like to add.
Dude, I think you're sorted. Actually, that Reverse the Verse was superb in terms of it was fun from what I briefly saw,
Yeah.
and
So
I was
funny.
like, how Jay Lee built the character and drew it. I was like, yeah, I've got my X Pen now. I was online before I came on here. I was chatting to some guys from XP Pen to try and fix my pen pressure, and so we rebooted everything, and it works fantastic now. And so I can actually, I did like my first quick scribble. I did some sunglasses, which not really.
Was it like a house and a family, and is it stuck on the fridge now?
I could.
My first scribble on a digital tablet. It's like, oh look,
Hang on.
mommy, look what I did.
Hang on. You've got me. I'm gonna have to do it right now.
I love
Oh
that bit
my
where he
God.
said something, and Jared was like, "Is that race?" No, Jay Lee was like, "Is that racist?" And Jared was like, "Not when you say it. Your sister think that was." Do you remember? I can't
Oh
remember
my
what he
God.
said.
You probably go watch it back.
I'm gonna have to.
Not
gonna
when
have
you
to.
say it. Really? I'm just
He
like,
said
that's-
something. He said
sad
something
world we
Chinese, like
live
in a
in.
Chinese accent. Where he was like, "Oh, you want
Oh,
the
yeah.
soup from Fifth Element?"
Oh God.
And then he was like, "Is that right?" It's like, "How can it be racist? You're saying it." It's
So
fine,
is
it's fine."
that like the accent we all put on when we read out the Chinese takeaway menu?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you want fried rice?
Is that racist?
Is
No,
that- is that
I'm just reading
racist?
out.
It's like, no.
I'm just reading out the takeaway menu in ethnic,
Yeah.
like, just representing the Chinese takeaway. It's not racist.
Ethnic English Chinese.
Yeah. It's like when you ain't gonna go, right, mate, what do you want?
I want a number 2, a number 6, and some of HCVertigo's fucking
Nutrient paste
nutrient
on the
paste.
side.
Yeah.
I want the 1%er nutrient paste. Taste the rich flavor of
Wouldn't
the
it be a lot
1%.
easier if they did it all by numbers though? So you could actually go over to China and say, I'll have a 2, a 6, a 36, and this dinner just comes out in front of you, and it's like, so you need to
I want
learn
it.
a
I
new
want it number
language.
69. You want beef with broccoli now?
You start giggling away, and then they bring you like chow mein. You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
no, wait, hang on. That was a joke. Fine.
Sorry, I'm busy drawing this house at the moment on the prairie.
Just okay. We'll entertain ourselves over here while you're doing
Can you
that.
make it so it Star Citizen-esque?
Put a freelancer
come on,
in
I'll-
top. Put a freelancer flying over above.
Yeah, just
don't
put a
just
bunch of
don't
struts
draw
in
a
the
house.
fucking window. Drop a bunch of struts in the window. Slap RSI on the side of it.
Struts
and
in
then
the
add an
window of
elevator
the
to get
house, you
inside.
mean? It's just
Yeah.
like-
And then instead of a front door, it has to have this fucking elevator to get you inside of it.
Windows with no visibility sounds about right.
Elevator
about right.
2.0.
And then it takes you into this hallway.
What I
So-
would like to see though in those fucking
Habs.
is being able to look out of the window and look down and see
you go,
your
Habs.
friends being like,
look down on your friends.
Yeah.
There's fucking Mac for you, man.
yeah,
Just partnered streamer, just thumbing his nose at the rest of us.
That's it. We can't
That
afford the top
motherfucker.
apartments.
you can't get me, motherfuckers, because they're instanced.
You're not going to look down on someone, I know you really. It's just,
Show us your progress so far, Madness. Just whatever you've got so far, just show us how it's coming
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, come on.
you probably can't.
on.
It's,
Well,
like
the
a big,
idea-
it's a big tablet. You have to pick it up and go, oh, look at this.
I can't
watch
really-
it pick up and drop the fucking
I'll
thing.
take a
and crack the
photo.
screen.
Yeah.
I'll take a photo and I'll post it on.
Yeah, make sure you show us the correct photo. Don't show us the other photos.
Put it on Reddit so we can bitch about it as well.
Yeah, put it on Reddit.
On Reddit. No, okay, hang on. One slow request at a time. Not suddenly all of a sudden it's on Reddit and it's like, hang on. Let me just put it in.
Work
I'll
your
put
way
it in
to Reddit.
Discord. I'll put it in Discord so Miss can put it on our. Where is it? Just be wary. I've only just started. This is the first time I've got it working here. Asylum
Right, so,
podcast general.
While he's doing that, right, so we had So one of the things actually was interesting. Mac mentioned on his stream, and it was also on the Calling All Devs. Was that last week's one with the quantum link jumping, and the fact that the different size ships go at different speed. Well, you didn't really say it. Someone else said it, and you just.
I just quoted someone. Yeah.
If you see the picture, Vertigo's in the middle there, holding up his buy bottle stuff. I tried to give him a little beard.
Is this the one around the sheep?
That is pretty
This
impressive.
is probably going to be around the sheep somewhere. And then
You can't write misc. You can't write misc on the side of a block.
It's got the panoramic view. It's got the panoramic view going on.
Oh my god.
I can see that, yeah.
The fucking sheep.
And this is meant to be over there somewhere with the sheep. I haven't quite.
That was money well spent on that fucking tablet and pen.
That fucking tablet. Are those sheep or cats? I can't tell.
Let's have a zoom in and
they're
look.
Clouds. They're like really low-flying clouds.
Wow. I mean, I thought I couldn't draw, but wow.
On the right-hand side of the horizon, is that just a bush?
Yeah, it's a tree.
No. Oh, sorry, left-hand side. Left-hand side.
Left. It's kind of the beginnings of a bush. I didn't get quite.
It's got two eyes on it as well.
That's
It's
your
got
last
two eyes on it.
It has, yeah.
That's a mutant bush.
This is Madness' application to join CIG. He sent it in.
He's applying to be an intern. J. Lee's intern.
Talking to Jay Lee, when he started scribbling those characters down,
They look just like Madness.
Like, how quick did he come up with those shapes of people?
Well,
this is my
what
first.
I want to know,
this is my
right,
first drawing. This is
if
my
Jay
first
Lee
drawing.
can
This
do
I
all
did
that in an
sunglasses.
hour,
Why
what
is
the
it
fuck's he
working
been up
CIG?
to? No, what was he been up to? Why isn't it populated by
Exactly.
tons of
Yeah.
people? Where's all this concept art? If he can do
But
that
this
in
is
an
the
hour,
problem. Concept art takes 2 minutes, but everyone
No, I
complains
know.
when they
I'm
start
only
doing concept
joking.
sales.
I know he has said that he's done so much like uniforms and T-shirts and everything else.
Madness, just sign that, Jay Lee.
So I did a second one.
Oh, no!
We don't have to.
Sign that,
Let's
Jay
stick
Lee,
that on
and
eBay.
put it on Twitter. We'll put it on Twitter.
Sign it, sign it.
Sign it,
Hang on.
Jay Lee, and put it on
Hang on.
Twitter.
Hang on, let me get my signature right. I need to get it in.
Tag
like
him
a-
in
what
that.
colour?
What does
Oh
Jay
my
Lee's
God.
signature look like?
Has anyone got
it's
Jay
up
Lee's
on the,
signature we can have a look at?
We can
It's up
find
on the new
it.
concept image. Look
Yeah.
at Spectrum, new concept image he did. But while we're waiting, here, I actually, my landlord told me a joke today. Why do you fuck a
Exclamation
sheep
mark
on a
question,
cliff?
guys.
Why do you what? Sorry.
Why do you fuck a sheep on a cliff? Because they push back.
Oh, that's so old.
There you go.
Is that from you? That can't be from your book that your mum bought you.
Your mum.
I've added.
Mum, what does this mean?
What does this
I've
mean?
added the Jay Lee signature now in the corner. There we go. There
Have
it
you
is.
got it on?
By Jay Lee. There we go. I've added it in. It's not great, but it's there. You go.
If it looks
In red.
legit, we can sell that shit.
We can sell that as a concept.
Maybe I need to work on
Reddit
it.
auction. Can you do Reddit auctions?
Can we do Reddit auctions? Go to Star Citizen Trades.
Yeah.
CIG. CIG. I should put CIG on there, shouldn't I? Really?
This
This
Sorry,
is
guys.
early
Podcast.
Hurston concepts. That's what it
Asylum.
is.
It's like you can tell there's not really much going on in the verse at the moment. When
I'm going to tell you now. I think some of the greatest painters out there. I can't remember the gentleman's name. Probably someone like Michelangelo or whatever. He said to have a child's mind to be able to paint like a child is a good thing. It's
Something
actually
like
shows you can
that.
Still got a creative mind.
I don't
you
think he
can
means
still-
do that though.
this should be on the ceiling of some of those amazing cathedrals.
yeah, take off Da Vinci's fucking
Don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't
whatever,
need that.
the hand of God or whatever it was.
Put that baby up there.
Take that off.
Son.
Stick Vertigo up there with his fucking tonic.
Nutrient paste tonic.
Is it compatible with MS Paint? Brimstone. I'm not sure. I think it's incompatible with all softwares. I'm using Photoshop.
Incompatible with most software. It just
It's
doesn't.
incompatible with most
Just
software.
because it's compatible doesn't mean it should be used.
The first drawing is in the Discord. I think Miz, you've seen it. That was the sunglasses. Because I literally just got the pen pressure to work, so it's I have to say legit. I'm going to be doing. I've got another webcam because I'm going to be doing some drawing with it. So
You
I
can
want
do
to
it along with I do some painting.
So I'm going to do some. So that was like very quick. It's not a very good drawing. I'm still used to again figuring out how the finite details and how you draw and stuff. But it's very, very cool to be able to just do it. I can't wait to get some more because I saw Jay Lee do his, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. That's how you build a character. Take some tips from him, and then I'm just gonna keep practicing because
You've written Ray-Ban in the corner.
Yeah. Just wrote that on there. It's so cool though, honestly.
I saw Jay Lee do his, so he had a go.
So I was like, this is mine. This is
Inspiration.
my inspiration. I was like, Jay Lee's amazing. But anyway, it's super cool, and I'm looking forward to doing some of those stuff because it's a bit more chilled out and yeah. Anyway, good fun.
So is there anything else on the calling all devs you wanted to talk about? So there was a quantum jumping. I just didn't realise, like you, they didn't realise that they jumped at different speeds either, which I think was cool. And it's a cool effect to see as well. Like you said, it's the fact that the smaller ships, so the smaller ships jump quicker but travel slower. Yeah, but they get into the jump quicker.
But they move slower. And this actually, this interesting thing for long distance travel, actually storing your ship inside of like an Idris or something would make more sense because then everything shows up at the same time.
What I would love to see is if you're traveling along in quantum travel in a small ship, and obviously over long distances, the larger ships can travel faster, and seeing an Idris just come floating past as you're trying to get there, and that goes first. Like you jumped first, but this Idris comes past. That's going to be so cool. Yeah, and then you try and veer into it. And you're like, motherfucker!
Like GTA, like $600, just like
yeah,
in quantum. Get out my lane.
Get out my land.
Get off
that's
my
cool.
land.
And the whole point of that is because if everything jumped together, it would just be everything comes in as one. But they wanted that.
The kind of that Star Wars thing when they jumped to the Death Star, in the third movie.
It's only one Idris, it's fine. And all of a sudden, tests like a million Auroras go.
You're like, okay, no.
Do you know what though? Like, I have to say, there's some very big things I hated about the latest Star Wars movie, but the biggest one I always hated was the fact that he completely took all the stuff we know about the quantum jumping or whatever you want to call it. What's it called? Yeah. Hyperspace, and just went and threw it away. Because let's be honest, if you can just go through something and blow it up in seconds, then
I don't want any spoilers. Is this you're about Solo?
Yes. No, we're talking about
Solo. No, it's the other one. Solo.
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Why?
Also, they retconned that shit from like The Force Awakens. Han Solo managed to jump out from inside of another ship in the Millennium Falcon without doing anything. He jumped to hyperspace from inside another ship.
Yeah. So, but then he flipped it, and in the new one, so you can actually go through. And I was like, who the what? You've ruined it. Like now it's like completely just torn up all, and it's like, I'm just like, no, seriously. Like I was bashing my head against the wall the other day, and I was going,
okay, when was the last time you heard Star Wars? Yeah, when's the last time you heard them talk about fuel in Star Wars?
Yeah, but that's the same with any action film where they just have a gun with fucking millions of bullets in it. They never, they realize, it's.
Well, what makes me laugh more is the pistols. They go around with a pistol and they take out a whole skyscraper with just one pistol and no reloading.
That's like taking out a constellation with a pistol, the laser arc like.
Yeah. And then at the end, the thing is that kills you is at the very end, it's like click, click, and you're like, no fucking way.
Yeah, it's like 48 bullets, and now you've run out.
It's not even like, I mean, I can believe in Commando with Arnie's like just kind of mowing everything because he's got like a huge chain of bullets on him, so it's okay. It makes sense. He's got enough ammo.
Muscle, so you're not going to argue.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But you talk about like fuel in Star Wars. Like, can you imagine just having scenes where they go, right, so I've got enough fuel to get to this sector, not enough fuel to get there. We're gonna have to go around this way. How much fuel have you got, mate? Right, so we're gonna have to hit a pit stop there, and then we'll probably stop for lunch at this one. Yeah, and then we'll carry on to the Death Star. Oh, actually, no. Before we get to the Death Star, let's go and do a loop around this place because that would not really make a good film.
Harrison Ford's old now. He needs toilet breaks every 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Can you imagine the fucking B-reel of that?
Wait.
Again, no. Oh, I'm gonna go to the toilet again. Oh, for fuck's sake! Again.
Someone installed the catheter. We need to get this.
Oh.
The way they're going, they keep bringing back characters. That's what's going to happen. You can have all these old people. Where was a jumping to again. It's sad. It's a one star.
It was like, there's just honestly, I watched it again. Like when I watched it in the cinema, I think I was just blown away by the special effects, and it's a Star Wars movie, and I got all excited. But then I watched it again, and then I was like, oh my god, this is bad. Like really bad movie.
Oh, I had the same reaction to the first episode 1. Like it was really great in the cinema, and then you sit down, and you watch it again, and you start noticing, oh my god, you start really paying attention to the minor stuff, and it's just like it ruins it.
It ruined it. Yeah, no, it's like, oh, we've got this really great. Oh, honestly, I could go on and just move on. It's not really.
I'm starting to feel I'm glad I'm not a massive fan of it. I just watched them.
It's
Disney.
Disappointing. Anyway, moving on.
Did they have a sing along in it at the end as well? Like all the
They should have always look on the bright side of life. Should have been at the end of it with all the stormtroopers lining up.
On the bright side of life.
That would have been perfect.
When life's a piece of shit when you think of it.
They should have done that. They really should have.
They need to bring in that Jared where Jaylene made the fucking. Bring that into it.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else? I mean, any more questions? Does anyone want to ask us any questions? Any more crazy questions?
I think everybody gave up asking us anything.
Have we even covered
meaning.
the calling all deads from this week?
No.
Which one was that?
No.
Can you be bothered?
This week.
It was
Monday,
will a solo player with a highly skilled NPC crew be able? Didn't we talk about this before? Complete
We did.
with a
We talked
highly
about it,
skilled human crew.
Did we? Okay, I can't remember.
We kind of talked
We did.
about that.
We talked about that. It's kind of the bullets were going sideways on the Gladiator.
Okay, so the
already,
next one was
it's
we'll
fine.
have props like a grapple or a jetpack to help us
You
move
talk like
through
a
the rough
7-year-old.
terrain. You write like a 7-year-old because I'm reading it from your notes.
It's my note. Yeah, I know how to read my
So
notes. You
thanks.
don't. Will how?
You just shot
This
yourself.
is skill-based note-taking.
It's
good,
like,
Mac.
you talk like a
Literally
7-year-old. Yeah,
like
it's your.
10 minutes
I'm
before the podcast
literally,
started.
Damn.
literally reading your
Streamers.
notes.
How the hell did you get partnered?
I don't
We
know.
ask it every day.
Exactly.
Are you serious? You want me to seriously though? I mean,
Hang on.
you
Can
can
I
change
just
your mind.
for the people that aren't English, that whole last section was gobbledygook to anybody listening because it was
Fucking
just
was. It was
everyone
a
talking
mess.
over and else. Miserable is reading out Super Mac Brothers notes that he does for one of his
Everybody
YouTube
loves
videos.
Star Citizen Sunday.
Mac
It
just
works.
criticized his own work as a 7-year-old's writing.
I read it like a respectable 31-year-old. I know what I'm saying.
Oh my.
You just miss words out basically.
I do. It's like
So,
it's like when you do
will
your
we
French
have
verbal.
props like a grapple or a jetpack to help us move through
It's
rough
word
terrain
salad.
or even wrecks? That was the question.
Yeah.
And they
and the
talked. They
answer?
said they talked about EVA thrusters stopping you during long falls.
Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, but I'm trying to read the next bit without being a 7-year-old. Nothing like a crackdown.
A hyphen. Okay,
Nothing
I
like
think
a,
like
nothing like a
Crackdown.
crackdown.
I liked Crackdown on Xbox One. It was good game. CIG need to make Crackdown for Xbox One game, please.
You see, HCVertigo knows exactly what it means.
Exactly. I played Crackdown on Xbox. It was good
Talked
game.
about EVA thrusters stopping you during long falls. Nothing like Crackdown.
God.
Just cause grapple hook. It's not. There's not going to be anything. They've not discussed anything about the Crackdown or just cause grapple hook. Okay, when you read it like that, yeah, I
Just
understand.
Cause Grapple Hook talked about.
You know,
it,
you know
though.
what it means. They've not talked about it. It's just
Do you know
cause.
what? Do you know what?
Love Holly's like,
Have you ever-
CIG,
have you
make
ever-
Oh, you mean? Oh, you mean like
It's
just because, not just cause, just because.
No,
No, it's an
Have you-
actual game. Miz,
game.
that's an actual game.
Cause.
Just
It's a game
Cause
called
is a
Just
game.
Cause.
Like
Yeah.
just cause.
where you have a grapple hook and you
No, I
can float
know.
around
I
from
know.
place to place.
It was like that one where he keeps firing it. He seems to hit nothing and still zooms across. It's like
No, that's Spider-Man.
no, it's not. I thought that was Far Cry, but I'm probably getting that one mixed up. But yeah,
Yeah, you are getting
It wasn't Scorpion out of Mortal Kombat. There's lots of things with grapples that fly across.
Yeah.
Get over here, that guy.
Oh my god! It's even better with the Scottish accent for the Scorpion. Get over here. Scottish, get over here.
get over here.
Oh my god. I swear.
Oh my god!
It's the new grabby hand. Just fire them out.
So English, it's crazy. No.
You Brits sure do talk funny.
I got the answer right here. HCVertigo's top problem.
Get over here. Fucking Southern Scorpion, get over here.
You've got,
Let me talk to you. Get over here. Let me talk to you about HCVertigo's nutrient paste cream.
We talk proper. Mac, have you ever tested for dyslexia? Just curious.
Well, twice.
Twice.
He found twice.
He failed twice.
Keeps taking the test, and it's like I keep failing. Shit.
Each time it's a yes. So
You're
I'm
normal.
going to go for a third time and just
You are dyslexic.
see if I can trick them.
You're dyslexic or not dyslexic?
It's a yes.
Okay. You are dyslexic.
You make of it what you will. When
Yes,
the dyslexia determination test says yes.
You're yes.
Is
Good.
that such a thing? Is there a determination test?
Well, I had to do a psychological test for my dyslexia. I had to spend.
That wasn't. They told you for dyslexia it wasn't. It was just whether they were going to look you up or not.
I'm currently in the mad home at the moment. These people are not real, and this is all in my head right now. No, it's
The asylum is more literal than figurative.
literal. It really is the asylum.
Pretty much.
No,
get
I had to do a test. I had to do a test, and yeah, I passed it like in seconds. So I was just curious.
So what's a pass? A pass is
A pass is you're dyslexic.
You test positive. You test positive.
You test fully positive.
Yeah. Well, there's a cure for that. HCVertigo.
HCVertigo's dyslexic nutrient paste cream. Dyslexic nutrient paste cream.
Dyspeptic.
Is it spelt wrong so they can read it? Wow. Okay, it was nice knowing you all. My Twitch channel is definitely banned after this
We've
episode.
offended
of the
everyone
podcast.
from fat kids. We've had like Hitler mentioned. What else have we done? I mean, honestly,
Women, egg-laying alien
women,
species.
We
Okay,
need to
so-
know how many people would actually buy that. I reckon someone would fucking buy it though.
Oh my god.
If
Why
you can't
would
read the
you
bottle,
watch-
to be fair, you've got a sale. So
Why
Yeah.
do people watch
Well,
any
I
other
just-
channel? It's just quality entertainment.
What does
Right?
DNA stand
Why
for?
is anyone watching anyone else?
I just don't get it. It's like people watching people with a laser going bzzz, when they could be hearing us talk about egg-laying aliens and HCVertigo.
that was a question. To be
Moisturizer.
fair. That wasn't our fault. Wasn't that a question? That was.
Was that? Oh yes, it was. There was a question that spawned the high quality caviar, and then I started going into like recycling people into nutrient
Yeah.
paste.
That's where it came from. So the whole of that conversation wasn't really the podcast's fault.
Yeah.
It was this whole option
It was
of
Jack.
It was a
Someone,
question.
somebody else triggered Vertigo. It's their fault. You know, I've been triggered. I've been you triggered me.
I may have
Right, so-
mentioned the whole E being picking up corpses for reasons, but that is just an idea.
There's a lot of business in dead bodies.
There is. It's 100%. I have
There
a
was-
question, actually, but you go
About
for it. I have a
96%,
question.
I'd say.
So out of this calling all devs, was there anything else, Mac, that you wanted to talk about?
Let me just briefly run through it because it's quicker. if I
So there
read
was
it.
tier 0 survival mechanics.
Oh, you want to try it? Okay, you go for it.
Okay.
No, I was
Yeah.
saying that was one of the
Tier zero.
topics. Tier 0 survival mechanics.
third question was, what about ships? Instead of them blowing up instantly, having more of an inoperable state.
Yeah.
They've talked about that before.
That is
They
so
said-
not what
I've
you
talked
put
about
on
several
this
times
note.
before.
Well,
Time to
I
disable
know.
instead of time to kill.
Yes,
Yeah, time to kill.
exactly.
It's always been the
But
thing that
they are working on wear and tear and misfires, which they've just spoke about in the monthly report. So instead of that's the difficulty is it going to be, is this a bug or is it a misfire? I think it's a good idea. I think it works well. It's wear and tear. So if you don't maintain your ship and your components, you're going to have problems.
You just have it break, not just make it so it doesn't fire permanently.
They're just making it hard of themselves by adding a game
That would
mechanic
be
that
quite difficult. You kind of think
A
it's
jam
a real thing.
misfire.
Is that a bug?
It's like
I actually have to agree with Mac over there because I've had a couple times when they had the wear and tear system in there, I thought it was a bug, but in reality, I had to go read the patch notes. Oh, that's right, wear is in the game. It's not. My guns aren't mouth. My gun. It's not a bug that's affecting me. It's the wear and tear that's causing my weapons to slow their fire rate.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm just like.
But I like it. I think it's good as long as it's quite clear that it's a misfire and not a bug.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you want big like Batman text when in the
So-
comics where it says misfire. So every time misfire.
misfire. If you knew it was going to misfire, why didn't you?
You got it saying pew pew pew, and then this misfire comes out of it.
You do realize CIG is in danger. Okay, has anyone seen Player Ready 1? Okay, there's a bit where the guy talks about we've managed to analyze. He's got this plan where he wants to advertise within the world of the Oasis, and he says we've managed to figure out that we can cover up 80% of a player's visual reading screen with adverts and stuff, so that before they hit a seizure. There's all these different information. I feel like that could potentially be the experience of Star Citizen at some point. Is with all these type of funny game mechanics, we're going to be like, we can get 80% of the screen with information before players will start to pass out.
Before players will start to vomit, throw up.
Ironically, most of that advertising space will be HCVertigo's pace, but that pace will also stop you from
throwing up, so they can make literally 100%.
HC's Vertigo motion sickness nutrient paste. Guaranteed to cure your sickness from.
We've unleashed hell upon ourselves.
You better fucking believe it.
We've unleashed the beast. It's like literally.
If you don't buy it, you'll just have seizures for the rest of your life.
I don't know. I feel like it's just there's so many other things in my head that feel a bit more important than misfiring.
It's a bit like when you see like an aircraft's cockpit and it's got about 50 switches on it. That's how it's going to be like playing CRG. Now, what button does what? What does this warning mean? What is this? Hang on. What is it? Misfiring, or is I just not reloading it? Oh, and you go to reload it. Oh, I've dropped the clip. Oh, how do I pick the clip? I can't remember how you pick the clip back up. Oh, we'll use the bullet.
Oh my god, I am so fucking triggered. You're saying clip instead of magazine.
Oh,
God, you're killing me.
The clip that goes in the magazine. I know the difference.
The right control.
The clip goes in the magazine. The clip of the bullets clips the bullets.
No, oh my god, no. Nobody. Okay, here's the thing.
Look, right, we're in the UK. We don't have
Enfield
guns.
rifle,
It's fine.
the old bolt-action Enfield rifle, that used clips. That's obsolete. We use magazines now. It's always a magazine.
Might have, but who says I wasn't talking about that?
Have you heard of the Beano?
When they go into a magazine.
Because in the UK, the Beano's a magazine.
And we certainly don't shove that in our gun.
I don't know. Some people.
Anyways,
depends on what gun is.
So there was a video for virtual reality CS:GO where you literally had to do everything Miz was talking about. You had to look at your body, grab your grenade off your chest, pull the pin, and then throw it with your. And then you wanted to reload. You had to grab your magazine.
Rather than a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing is like if that's wear and tear and all the rest of it, like so, say for example, you think of your spaceship, or like if you would have like in real life, you have like an aeroplane or whatever else. You know, normally before you take off, you don't really want to have the idea of thinking, well, guess what, guys, there could be a chance of a misfire on the engine this time. You know, but don't worry.
What you on about the pilot says that every time I fly abroad. There is a chance one of the engines won't fire up. It's like, cheers, mate.
But if that airline didn't maintain their ships, then of course there'd be a misfire. Their ships, their planes. So it makes sense.
But my point is that when you're at Cryastro, it's maintained. It's at like a high standard. It's looked after and stuff. So what you're saying
depends on the Cryastro, doesn't it? Really, I mean, it
depends on what you tell them.
If you're repairing it yourself.
So you're saying if you don't go to like these main ports, or you have to physically go to like a Cryastro to constantly keep it topped up, and you're happy with that. You're cool with that.
Maybe you're a really scummy pilot and you don't want to repair your ship, and you're like, nah, just keep it'll go for another 100 miles. Just
but you think about that on like a small ship, you can kind of see like the wear and tear. Oh yeah, you can see which one. But on a huge ship, you got to walk for the whole freaking thing to find out what bit's worn. It's like,
if you could afford a whole ship, you just hire someone else. You'd be like,
NPC.
This is going to afford a whole ship. What are you going to fly around in a half a ship?
That is the trouble.
Robots. They need R2D2 to come around.
Well, isn't it 3.4 when we're getting, or is it 3.5 maybe early? I don't know. When we're getting the repair bot, the AM1 repair bot.
Solid. Then I'm sold. Then you can buy that, and then you can have one of those attached to inside or attached to your ship repairing stuff. Then it's all good, right?
But you can't buy it in the game. You've got to buy it with real money. Kidding.
Real money. $400
with LTI, of course. Yeah. The second to last question on Conning or Devs was tier 0 of survival mechanics. When is it coming?
No.
Like water hygiene. I love this. I love it. I really want. I don't want it to be like long dark survival mechanics, but I want it to be something because if you get stranded on a planet and there's no survival mechanics, then
we already have a survival mechanic. You have oxygen. Yeah,
That's
but
not enough.
It's too easy to dodge these mechanics by just alt backspace.
That doesn't dodge the mechanic. You're dead. You might as well just let the oxygen run out
You do
and
that
die.
9
It's
times,
no different.
and you lose your character and everything else he owned, apart from it going to his friend.
It's just get a new character
But you
sheet.
don't. But you don't lose. You don't lose everyone.
We'll still see what happens with that. I mean, obviously, if it's just a case of, well, you get it all back again, there'll be no point to what they're saying. So I'm assuming it won't be that case. It'll be a little more strict.
I'm assuming you get back everything you own, the ownership of everything, so the hangar, whatever in the hangar. But whatever you were out in the verse with, that drops where you died, and you have to go get it now with your new character.
Never.
Or you have to have someone get it for you.
I think it'll be a little more horrendous than that. I don't think they're going to make it so it's just, well, you can still get it back. I think because they said ownership of everything is going to change from one character to the next, and once you've permanently died, but you're gonna respawn somewhere else. You're not going to pop out at a hospital when you're fully dead. You're going to go back to your mother.
Pop out your mother
via fucking birth mechanic.
Oh, now there's a stretch goal. Stretching your mom.
Stretch goal.
Stretch goal.
Wow, that was too.
We have pace for stretch marks.
we have gone to new places. That's for sure.
Wow.
I've got some cream and ointment for that stretch marks.
So yeah, they're currently implementing
VR birth canal maneuvering. Like I can imagine them doing this like Spore, where you have to guide the sperm up the fallopian tube into the egg.
A little mini game.
Stop.
But it's skill based. It's a skill based mini
Stop.
game.
Yeah, and then you have to knock all your brothers and sisters off so that you can make it.
Just stop. Just.
It's like
stop.
road rash with sperm.
It's got like little chains and baseball bats you can pick up.
Get off! I'm gonna make it.
Make sure you.
Mrs. put us on the hold. He's like, no, stop.
Yeah, he's paused the whole thing. He's like, no.
We're done.
Can I have a word with this?
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. I'm calling the cops.
I should have just.
We need to like technical difficulties for when Vertigo comes down.
His private messages. He's told us not to talk like that again.
Sit on the naughty set.
Sorry,
Saying that, I have played. Have you played the Road Redemption, the new one? That's like Road Rash. It's good fun.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailers. Yeah,
On that
playing it.
subject, have you played the latest Road Rash?
Changing subjects.
It is cool. It's good fun.
That's segue.
It's fucking
can we play
hard as well.
multiplayer?
You
can
can,
play
yeah.
multiplayer on it? Oh, sweet! I'm gonna get it then because it's on sale. I think it was
About £7, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it.
You have to play against loads of other people. You can't do like the campaign, but you just play against other people and you level up and gain things. So,
Yeah, it got overwhelmingly positive on that. If I see overwhelmingly positive and see positive, like I see that from people.
If
I'm
you
just
like
like,
Road
yeah,
Rash,
cool.
it's the same. It's
Oh,
just
I love Road Rash.
kicking people into front of cars, knocking them out with machetes.
HCVertigo's fertility nutrient.
HC, shut up. There's enough. We've killed that one. Virtual reality.
Too far.
It's too far. Too far. Okay. Jesus Christ. What have I come back to? My first week back is like, damn. Was there anything else on Calling All the Dead?
Yeah, there's another.
It was just about the medic profession, which nobody really cares about anyway, do they?
Oh, come on. That's going to be influencing the first-person shooting.
No, okay then. So any development on the mechanic, which was, do you remember the old roadmap before they went to this new fancy one?
Yeah, with the bars all over the place.
Well, they had down. The fuck, Alexa? They had a down state. Alexa, stop.
She's looking for virtual reality.
Your bot's going crazy now.
Oh God damn it!
She's recorded the whole of that podcast, and now I'm in trouble.
Sending footage to police right now.
And they're actually patented Vertigo's paste already, unfortunately. So,
fucking Amazon's already on top of this.
Yeah.
I've even ordered it on the Prime Day sale. It's coming.
Yeah, Christmas this year. They've basically asked, is the downstate? So instead of just being killed every time, is there going to be incapacitated? When's that coming? How's it coming? What?
Captain Shaggy said, "Why did you look under your desk to tell Alexa to stop?"
Stop.
Stop, Alexa.
No. All right, fuck you. She's over. I looked under my monitor. She's not a physical
that's too
person,
good.
Matt.
Oh my god.
He's got Alexa's plugged into a blow-up door.
That's what I was going there too, but I just I've been naughty enough on this podcast. I figured I might as well tone it back a little bit.
Jesus.
Alexa, stop.
I'm like, I
want doing a podcast. Stop later. Okay, stop.
Not now.
Slowly rises. deflate, quick.
You can hear the compressor kick on. Brrr. Stop.
But yeah, so this is basically going back to what we said at the start of the podcast: is knockdowns, knockbacks, staggers, hit reactions. That's coming in first.
All right.
Then they're going to do the whole med pen. Instead of it just being a full heal, it's going to be a non, what did I call it? A temporary heal, which you'll still depreciate over time as a fine car would, but
or electrical facility.
Yes.
Power plant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then you've got to find some form of medical ship and so forth. But did you say ships? They want to introduce them later on, but this is why I'm not thinking we're going to get a medical ship, because
they haven't got any of that stated yet.
Well, we have medical facilities at Levski. There is the hospital's facility at Levski is boarded up right now, but I'm assuming they'll open that up. We also have ArcCorp will have a medical in Area 18, and
I don't think we're going to see that. We're not going to see Area 18 until ArcCorp comes. We can't get into it now, can we?
No.
But if you're going to have these states though that you need to go to a facility, then aren't you going to need to have the shipping at the same time as adding these mechanics,
or
at least some form of healing?
Is, I think.
It depends how temporary the heal is. It could be several hours before you could just have a derate your hit points. Like you heal up to instead of 70%, instead of 100%, you go to 70%, and then if you want to go back to 100%, you have to go to a surgery bay or something to get back to your full hit point pool.
It's the same as ships, isn't it? You can the basic repair will allow you to repair your ships, but if you want it to be full 100% repaired, you've got to take it to a crucible or a Cryastra or somewhere where they're able to do it. You can repair it or you can fix someone up, but it's only going to be a temporary field repair.
Yeah, and that's when the multi-tool gets added. They said multi-tool is going to be a patch job. Like you can goop some shit up there but it won't be a 100% armor plate you'll put back up on there.
Yeah, like the head in the microwave concrete thing. It's just going to be a temporary thing.
Yeah.
Mac, you have to come on more often. Hilarious.
That's right.
I know.
Vote for this team of 4 every week.
Madness, you need to come on more often.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Too fucking soon.
Jesus. Oh my god!
So I think that was pretty much all of that calling all devs.
Knocking things over. Alexa, stop! What are you doing?
No, don't stop. Okay, carry on.
Wow, that was a little bit wrong. Oh god. Oh Jesus.
I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Thanks, everyone. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Quick go. Run away. I was going to ask one question: was automatic defense turrets for anti-boarding? Do you think that we'll have that type of thing? So again, in Altered Carbon, there's a virtual building inside that where defense towers come in and help attack people. Do you think we'll have the same type of thing on board certain ships, like capital ships, maybe, and some of the, because they're huge ships? Or do you think it'll all be just manually
I think it's going to be manually.
Okay.
I think Chris Roberts wants you to have crew, and the crew is going to help repel boarders. Okay. If you do have automated defense systems, it's going to be like locking doors, sirens, internal sensors,
stations.
maybe
Do they build stations?
And a tank dog.
Do you think it'll be stations, or do you think that they'll have the like security police will be the ones that will come and take you out if you kill, like, say for example, like murder?
Maybe have automated stuff in stations. I haven't seen anything.
Because didn't they say something about like in the landing pad things, and they said, I'm sure they said like Grim X or something would have automatic turrets.
There will definitely be auto turrets. We've seen that in the Squadron 42, and they've talked about it being part of the defense. Inside
anti-personnel automated turrets inside the ships.
A bit like sort of the Division, where you have that throwing turret thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can pop it up, and it kind of like becomes a turret. Yeah, that would be kind of cool if they have that as a.
It would be cool. It's like they spoke about, I think, 2 weeks ago on Calling on Devs about gadgets, didn't they? And like whether it would work or not. That's more a case of, do they feel like it fits in the verse? Which I think an auto turret would be quite cool. Having someone deploying, like let's say a caterpillar, for example, someone attacks you, they get into the front of the caterpillar, and they've got to work their way through. Having an auto turret set up, or like some form of barricade, so you can. That would be quite cool. But it's a case of, will it be OP? They could obviously put the damage. There's so many variables, so it would be cool if they would. And I have seen it. Maybe a dream in landing locations. A turret. I think it might have been in Star Marine. They had a turret camera inside. A bit like Half-Life sort of turret cameras inside inside basically. So it would be like a single cannon. I don't think it'd be like a Gatling gun, but I think that would work as a deterrent.
I hope they do.
Maybe not inside ships. Space stations, I can see it, but not ships.
But some of the ships are going to be huge. They're like almost similar to the size of space stations in theory.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you could upgrade your security system and get a turret instead of just a camera. Or
you could have like
the
turret guy. The turret guy could be on the inside. He could have the security with the cameras, and he's actually shooting the turrets inside.
You mean the more remote control turret then, rather than automated?
Yeah, it could be in a remote control turret maybe so someone actually can physically control the turrets in the stations with the cameras. So
I mean, they could do it.
Shoot out the
They could do an auto turret as well, as long as like the same. If they worked it on the same principle as they do AI, in terms of it's not as accurate as if you had someone with a gun, but it still can be deadly. So it kind of shoots around a bit, but not.
I think they've kind of got the tech there to do it, but it's a case of does it fit? Does it work? Should they do it? It'd be cool. Maybe try it if it works.
They're talking about the gadget thing because it can't be interesting because obviously we've seen the rise of Fortnite. Now I know people will be like, "Oh my god, he's talking about Fortnite on this podcast." The rise of Fortnite and the ability to do
we talked about
kind
of else.
Yeah, right. You can build things and create things and do all sorts of things. Now, I'm not saying we should build platforms like as quickly as Fortnite or anything, but that kind of gizmos and combat has kind of become quite popular. So I'm just thinking, Star Citizen, you could do the futuristic, like you said, with the Division. It makes sense in my head. Like, why wouldn't you do a little bit of futuristic?
It might be a case of if certain landing points will have physical people as security, AI, NPCs, that sort of stuff. But then other places that are not as wealthy may have turrets or something that is like, because obviously if you're up against an AI, they can follow you, they can track you, you can't hide from them. If you're up against security with a turret, you can hide around a corner and then, replace the clip. But yeah,
shields.
As long as you keep your finger on the trigger button.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a good idea, but again, it's whether it'll fit or not, and they'll decide that, and we'll argue, and then they'll maybe decide otherwise, or do it the same thing anyway.
We'll see if it's fun.
Plenty more things to do first, maybe. Plenty more things to do first.
Well, I think they should just fast track turrets inside.
Auto turrets.
Yeah, we don't need anything else. Just fucking bring those turrets in.
Just bring it. To be fair,
game done. Fuck it, done. Launch.
If they're like any other turrets, it wouldn't make a difference. You just be walking up to it going, really? You're gonna okay. And you just push it. It'd be like the portal ones. You just push it over and still shooting as it falls over.
Piece of equipment that was.
I actually played through Portal recently. It was a fun romp. The game's only about an hour and a half long.
Portal.
Yeah, the first one.
You are at it, but yeah.
Good game. So yeah, I'm done. I don't know if anyone else has got anything else to talk about. I'm done.
We got no more questions. I think that's it. It's already about 3 hours longer than it should have been. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was just gonna. Oh, it's gonna be 10 minutes. We got
It's
10
2
minutes
hours.
of content.
It's gonna be a 2-hour show.
10 minutes.
4
10 minutes of
hours.
content.
I mean, we can bullshit another hour if you wanted us to.
Yeah, we probably could.
No. Just no.
we could, but no.
No. I have a baby that needs feeding.
Mm.
Cool. Good stuff.
need feeding.
I look forward to when we get lots of content to talk about next week. Another 5-minute one. Woo!
Another 5-minute one. Yeah.
These are going to get harder and harder, these podcasts.
We'll have to find a new startup game to comment on.
Kickstarters, yeah. Find us a Kickstarter. Well, actually, saying that,
Yeah.
Dead Matter, we could always cover that a little bit. Mac and I have been followed on Twitch by him, so you never know. We might get some reveal on that. We'll play that instead.
Ooh, why not?
Probably not.
Okay.
Just like,
So
okay,
where
guys.
can we find everyone?
we'll wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Right,
There to
bye.
go. Off you go.
You can find me on Twitch TV/HCVertigo, streaming pretty much Sunday through Fridays. I'm off Saturdays, only half a day Wednesdays, and we're probably going to be looking towards next month to change our schedule a little bit to give myself a little more free time to work on some other projects. That's what I've been thinking about.
Like
We'll see.
HC Vertigo tonics.
HCVertigo tonics, yes, and nutrient paste and that kind of stuff. But you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Discord. That kind of stuff. Twitter at HCVertigo.
Twitter at HCVertigo /Magic Medicine.
Yeah.
And Mac.
Twitch TV. SuperMacBrothersRyan.
I have to think about that one. I'm going to go about 10 different names. Hang on.
YouTube.com/SuperMacBrothers. Twitter is at SuperMacBrother. And same for Instagram if you bothered.
And his Tinder profile and Grindr profile are also the same.
It's
Super
yeah,
Mac Brothers.
exactly the same. It's just don't swipe away. Why? But yeah, I've started a new series which is just gameplay. A lot of people have been saying there's no one doing gameplay, so I decided I was trying to think of the best way to do it. Should I do a specific mission? Should I do something in particular? And every time I've tried recording something in particular, it crashes, something happens. So I just thought, just play the game as I would do normally. And that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be me playing it. It's just a simple let's play, nothing special. But that's gone up. It's very special.
Really selling it. It's nothing special. It's just me playing the fucking
Incredibly
game.
special. The fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this week. Catching up with all the news. Maybe go
Same
for
thing
a
I
walk,
do
have
every
some
week,
tea.
Pinky. Trying to take over the world.
Take over the world.
I love that show.
It's a great show. It's better than my fucking show.
That's a good
There's not enough mice in shows. So
fucking show.
underrepresented.
Go onto YouTube and watch that show. That's
Does anybody remember Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
No, that was
That was
Pinky in the
horrible.
Brain. The
That
Animaniacs.
was.
Yeah, Pink.
Yeah,
the animated.
brain.
But do you remember Ren? That was-
Yeah, he's just asking
I,
if anyone remembered Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah,
I
Ren and
remember
Stimpy.
Ren and
Slug, slug. It rolls
Hey,
over your
Ren.
neighbor's dog.
That was as random and as weird as this is.
Yeah.
It
That
was.
needs to come back.
This show, this podcast this week's a little dodgy, but it's still fun. It's always nice to be here.
I mean, I always say this is the day brightener. This sets the week off for everybody. This is a good day brightener. This kind of usually this show. It's all about having a bit of a fun. And
Because everyone
enjoying
hates
themselves.
like the going back on a Monday, and we just make that journey
Nice.
a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone thought Monday was shit.
Open
You
your
come and look at us and go,
Yeah.
well,
Open
at least
your
we're not
emails
one of
tomorrow.
these
You have
guys.
been temporarily suspended from Twitch.tv for curbs of community violations.
Bloody hell.
Madness, you want to tell everybody
Yeah, so you'll
what
be
you're
able
going
to
to be up
catch
to, because we don't know.
I'm, as I've said on my stream, unfortunately at the moment with my position and what's going on, I'm incredibly busy now. So I'll be catching streams as and when I can, but you can guarantee I will be just sticking, hopefully, if I don't get kicked off, doing the D&D, because I was an idiot last week, D&D on Friday with Miz and the campaign. And I think there might be another D&D thing going on at some point as well, part of the Asylum, which is pretty sweet. Oh, Stout and Sturdy, sorry. So hopefully doing that as well, which I'm excited about, new character. And then the YouTube videos at some point. I'm just so busy. Like, I want to do some more drawing streaming. So I'm probably going to do some drawing streaming rather than gaming streaming, some IRL stuff.
Nice,
like
creative streaming.
Yeah, great. I think I'll probably do maybe a bit of a creative stream and see where it goes. Because there's always people that can come in and give you tips and stuff.
Are they going to be like that picture you drew us earlier?
Yeah.
No, there's a sunglass. The sunglasses one is kind of like is kind of. It's still a bit rough, so I need.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, Max.
crisp
Don't be
it up.
mean.
That's the standard. We're starting with the standard of the house and Vertigo and
Yeah.
sheep.
Sneakers. I'll probably be drawing sneakers because that's what I do for a living. So I'll probably be drawing sneakers and trying to get better at getting the technique so that I don't have to use. Like I said, I don't want to use paper and pencil anymore. I want to do everything digital, and then take it to 3D at some point. So yeah, you can catch me obviously on a little bit of madness. I mean, just on Twitch and YouTube, obviously for the Asylum. I do everything now through that. And I'm gonna try and do as much creative stuff as I can, basically, because I'm back. So I want to do that. Try and make it
creative.
Redo this layout probably for the Asylum so that we can get text. Some people have been asking. I think it was a few people have asked about getting the text onto the channel,
at least on this screen or something.
Yeah. So I think we'll just clean up probably the layout, simplify again. It's all about continuing to improve the layout and all that stuff. So yeah, catch me there. A little bit of madness everywhere.
A little bit of madness. Someone actually uses the same name. That's handy.
Yes, I don't change my name every 5 minutes. For anyone that's a budding Twitch streamer, don't change your name every month. It doesn't help. Find a name and stick with it.
He doesn't change his name. He just doesn't have it the same everywhere. It's so funny. And if anyone want to find someone to host, I suppose.
What about you? What are you doing, Miz?
Oh, me, I don't do anything. I just
Paint
sit here and get like all these unfollows because. So yeah, thank you everybody for unfollowing today. It's very much appreciated. I don't blame you. This is where you can find me to unfollow next time once you watch the YouTube clips. No, sorry. So obviously you can find me here. If you missed the beginning, the middle, or the end of this stream, you can do !Asylum in chat and go and give us a follow on YouTube. The more subscribers, the better. Very much appreciated if you do so. I also do. I'm going to try and do some. I keep saying this probably every week, so it probably won't happen. But trying to do some more Star Citizen, but I'm quite busy. So at the moment, it's kind of paint. It's the Asylum podcast on Monday. I do Paint, Prattle and Roll very late for UK time. In fact, it probably started about now on a Wednesday night where I paint different figures. D&D figures or Warhammer figures. I've painted this little guy from Star Citizen as well, the little pilot. So, different things like that.
Hold up slowly. Not so fast.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
There you
Chicka wow wow.
Okay. Now it's too slow. Move on.
And then on Friday I do D&D with loads of people, tons of people, far too many people. But it's all good fun. So come and join us on Friday for that as well. Otherwise, yeah, you can find me here and on the Asylum YouTube channel. And I think that's about it.
Like a pro.
Like a pro.
Well, you can host Wickstrom. He's just behind us.
I can do. And yeah, thanks everybody for the resubs, the subs. We really do appreciate it. Even though we don't act like adults, we do appreciate your support.
Speak for yourself.
And thank you for all the follows as well, guys.
Yeah, and
this is the longest outro I've ever seen. Oh, we can make it longer. We can go on for an hour. We did say we could waffle for an hour. So.
If anyone knows anyone at Amazon, please have a word gently with them and say, can you please, on Prime Days or when the next electronic sale is, put a good microphone up because we need to get Miz. We're going to get Miz a a really great microphone.
What's wrong with
for
this
D-
orange
for
ball
his
of
D&D.
beauty?
You sound like you've got a sock over it, and you're like in a distant cupboard somewhere. We're gonna get we want to sort you out with a really good
That's
microphone.
just my
so.
voice.
And it's like a giant orange bollock.
Yeah, that's what.
It belongs to this guy.
One. You take it. Well, you castrated your robot. That's a shocking thing.
Only
And
one
you
ball.
talk to it, and you talk to it.
What are you doing to me, miserable? Why do you need this?
Oh my god.
Can I keep it?
HCVertigo's castration cream and nutrient paste.
Oh, good. Right, the
Right
raid has
back on.
started
Right
because
back on.
otherwise
That's what
we will literally.
Vertigo, you still on that? I'm always on it. I'm a salesman. I'm always looking for an opportunity.
Goodbye.
Has your robot lost its nuts to a miserable? Seek out
If he has, try HCVertigo's testicular. I fucking
Oh,
got it.
Testicular. Is that like technicolor?
So it's like
Bye.
spectacular.
Eject cord.